and we should be going, but I'm just making sure before I say, like I did last night.
Hmm?
Yeah, we're going. Okay.
Okay. Well, welcome back to Brine and Tide. Obviously, the party once again returning to the shipwreck village on Rondo Island, having made a circuit of the island, doing various tasks, killing giant birds, running into giant bugs, typical adventuring stuff. And on returning to the village, there was some rather personal, interpersonal communication among the party. You know, social ranks were ranked up, or social links. But uh, as um, the party uh, wound down for the night and went to sleep in their hut that's been assigned to them while in the village. The Rayan and Quiet Hearts, middle of the night, heard what sounded like people shifting around outside, and eventually what sounded like deep speech. Someone was searching for something, and upon bursting out of the hut, it nearly came face to face with a group of Sahagan and Marrow, which were slinking through the village in the middle of the night, seemingly searching for Rand. As combat was unleashed, as it sounded like conflict started to break out elsewhere among the village, as it seemed the fish people, not to be offensive, were spreading out, searching. After the intense fight, fighting off waves of marrow and monsters that were coming up off of the cliffside from the sea, uh, that's where we ended after defeating them, driving them back into the ocean, or subduing some of them. There's at least one alive, you think, maybe,
We tried.
but
We
hasn't
tried.
been really checked on.
By which I mean Ryan
And
tried.
yeah, Ryoko, we tried. Decapitated like two
No,
things.
I did my best with the things that I had at my disposal, which is to say, lethal weapons.
Yeah.
There's one I hit that I
Lethality is
didn't
my new
kill.
thing.
There was one I hit that I didn't kill because someone else killed it.
Yeah, Ryoko's just like you. I have explained like my whole skill set is lethality, but after recuperating a bit as the summon storm continued to rage, but seemingly not as fierce over the village, thanks to the semi-divine intervention of Corona. Not quite officially a divine intervention, but a channeling of the storm god's favor seemed to lessen the storm, at least in the area. But which also, that's another important thing. In the beginning of the storm, Proto managed to gain a vision through the storm itself to where it had been summoned deep in the reef. And left off with the party kind of retreating back inside to talk a bit as Veer and Anchor approached, kind of saying, checking up, and then learning that the the fish people were searching for Rayan. Uh, Orovir, having come to trust the party, and through his interactions, managed to convince Anchor to back off for a bit as Rayan was. Things were getting a little tense, but Ventrop showed up and also revealed some deeper meanings as to what brought Rayan into the path of the ship of the Driftwood Dolphin, and how I can't remember exactly where we left off, but
At the end of that conversation,
Uh,
basically.
yeah, I think Ventrok was excusing himself to let because it's still the middle of the night, so people are, it's now going into recovery as after dealing with the sudden attack in the middle of the night.
you do.
I believe everyone is in the hut, and it's just the party now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan's looking like.
Oh, right. That's one of the things Ventrok revealed is that while Rayan was inevitably going to manifest on the material plane, Ventrok twisted things to ensure that she manifested when and where would be most beneficial. Him claiming to have done it out of desperation, facing his own untimely death at the hands of the Cambion.
Mm-hmm. Lured her there with her apparent oh god, patronage.
Champion.
Her champion.
He used the word future champion, I believe.
Yeah, that is the word he used.
So, I wanted to ask, Ryoko.
Mhm.
So everyone else seemed to have pretty much accept Rayan's explanation when she explained the whole Rayan Regax connection, while Ryoko had a rather amusing misunderstanding. How is Ryoko reacting to all this, where now the weird crab dude is now indulging her, indulging her in this and encouraging it, and everyone seems to be going along with it.
I feel like Ryoko has encountered cults that have had child gods before,
God.
where they raise somebody. It's like you're the reincarnation of the divine squelch or whatever. And that she's essentially assuming that's the
It's
case.
divine melch.
And that whatever this cult of Regax is, it clearly indoctrinated this kid when they were young into believing they're the physical manifestation of a god, which is pretty fucked up.
God damn it.
But
Well,
she's not gonna comment on it directly because I mean, there is enough of Ryoko's mind that is cognizantly aware that she doesn't know how to unindoctrinate a child from some fucked up shit they were taught.
Ryan looks like.
There was also some looting to happen with the fish people. Lobster monster.
Where the fucking jewel?
Soul food. Ryan, like, after he leaves, he's looking like. Not confused, but like a little blown away.
Kind of a fucked up night for you, huh, kid?
Well, I found out that, an enemy of my greater self is most definitely looking for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, that seems to be
was-
the size of it.
And I was encouraged to manifest here because of she looks over at Quiet Heart.
They're still looking at Ram.
Ryan quickly looks away.
Quiet Hearts really was the shiny lure at the end of the fishing line.
Yeah. And when she looks over and sees Quiet Heart's looking, she quickly looks away again.
Quiet
I
Hearts
can't-
holding the now reformed Warhammer.
Oh,
Yeah. I can't remember everything. Well, I can't remember a lot of things from my greater self, but I thought at least I'd process that I came here or was called here for a reason, essentially. This plane is weird.
That was one thing Ventrell tried to emphasize was he's not why Rayan manifested, he just gave
Yeah.
a destination or suggested
yeah.
a destination.
Yeah, she came here because she wanted to, but he was like, hey, why don't you come over here instead of over there? Yeah. Like I thought I'd like if you that's not like a You're all really quiet.
To be fair, it's fucking late at night.
Yeah, the adrenaline's running off, or
Yeah.
wearing off.
It's like finally turning their attention away from Ray, and Quiet Hearts will point to the possibly still knocked out
Sahagin.
fishman. If we intend to keep that one alive, should we not tend to it
Yeah.
and maybe see what the strange creature attached to it is?
She like runs over. In that weird
Back
way
out
she
into
moves.
the rain. Actually, I think it was like here. Oh, it was actually not under the rain. It was actually because there is like a leaf roof over this cooking area. You know,
Yeah, so right
the
now.
fire's out and there's no food out, but
Yeah. See, is he still there?
you walk out and you see that there are people moving about, gathering the dead, and you heard from Anchor and Orovir that there were like a small handful of people that got killed. Brodo and Quiet Hearts, you actually did, now that I remember this, did go out and heal some people that were the more severely injured.
Mm-hmm.
Doing some triage.
Alongside
I think the other healer in the village, like magical healer, is the druid.
Is the unconscious Sahagin nearby?
Do a medicine check. Yeah,
Is
you know where
there?
it's at, but
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
I meant to say
terrible
they
up
haven't gotten like to your area yet. So like the fried chul is actually rather close to the hut. There was the ones Blade Master Sahagin that had the coral armor that Quiet Hearts was interested in, and then the sword with, the cleanup crew hasn't gotten to this area yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the body, the unconscious body, and drag him into the tent.
Well,
the
okay, so you drag them in.
Yeah.
Someone wants to do a medicine check to see if they're still alive.
I will give assistance or guidance.
I'm not
I'll give guys.
I'm not proficient in it, but I do have a 4 to my wisdom. Unless anybody's proficient in it.
I am not proficient in medicine, but was it a Sawagan or marrow?
Sahagin. They were the only ones who had the little parasite. Or what you would assume to be a parasite. The marrow, from what you could tell, didn't have those, but the Sahagin seem to have these things like attached to their gills.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
We could
yeah.
double up, aid somebody, and then stop them with guidance.
I mean,
Yeah, whoever wants to roll.
I can roll medicine with aid. I do have the 4 and it's
Yeah.
in wisdom, so.
Yeah. Better than I have.
Okay,
I'm gonna give you guidance.
Excuse me.
2.
16. It's not bad.
Looking at this Sahagin, I think it was the Coral Smasher. It is basically on the cusp of death. If it does not receive treatment right now, it is going to bleed out or be, it's it's breathing while you're not, breathing is very shallow even for a fish person. It's you've got like moments to save this thing
All right.
because
I'll cast a
it has
cure.
been a bit, and it was pretty hard by the smite that knocked it out.
I'll use
Yeah.
a level 1 cure wounds.
Okay. Okay, so it is stabilized, but it was such an intense and brought back from the cusp of death. I did actually roll off screen some death saving throws, and it was basically 2-2. So,
Oh my god.
yeah, so it's stabilized, but it is still out. Like, you think it's gonna need some rest before it actually wakes up, or, maybe another round of healing, but you're pretty sure it's stabilized. Its breathing has steadied, and you see some of the wounds have closed up. But now that you're in of the hut, you see the Sahagin simply armored. It left behind its warhammer or its shell hammer, but the armor, while not as advanced as the Blade Masters, is similar where it has like pieces of coral purposely grown onto it to add a little bit of protection, but it's not like it actually got really damaged in the fight, so you're not sure if it's salvageable. But attached onto its neck, you see this looks gelatinous almost. Sure, there's not like a hard exterior. It's kind of pinkish purple. It's like sticking out from the gills on the side of its neck, or like where the jaw meets the neck, and but then you see it's like also wiggled what looks to be like kind of fleshy tendrils underneath the scales of the neck. You're pretty sure that it can be removed, but it would cause damage to the Sahagin. But with a really decent medicine check like that, inspecting it, you're pretty sure it's not like removing it won't be fatal. It would be painful, but not fatal. As long as it gets, as long as it's not left to bleed out.
As long as no one just yanks the son of a bitch.
But it looks like with some delicate work, you might be able to remove it with like another medicine check. But does anyone want to do a nature check?
Absolutely.
Specifically, you would get advantage.
Nature,
Me?
you say?
Yeah.
Hey.
From
I
your
can do a
description,
nature.
From your description, it mentally sounds like a blobfish, which is terrifying.
Oh god, I'm so bad at things.
Same
Yeah,
death, but not vertebrate.
May I roll?
Yeah. Anyone can roll this one. Oh wow.
Nature. And guidance. Where's the guidance? Guidance.
So both of you would know. This looks like a sea pig.
What? They're so cute.
But
Horrible
like
monstrosities.
twisted and warped and like doesn't look like any this doesn't look like any sea pig you've seen wash up or like fished up, and Ryan, this definitely looks just odd, but with above a 20 on that, and because you were the one who carved up the Anzu, you get the sense that these might be primally altered sea pigs, like not like full on. I mean, yeah, they are just like these don't look normal.
I see. We're dealing with a sea hog.
Well, that's the thing. Primal energy doesn't really. The primal tide doesn't really change existing sea life, but there's something mutated about it that reminds you of it. It's not the same process, but similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This looks like
If you
a
had a guess.
sea pig?
Yeah, it was real fucked up though.
Oh yeah. This is. She pokes it.
It it does that like flexing thing, like where it
Yeah.
tenses.
I'm gonna. I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts on it.
Through
It
the
might just not
amulet?
work entirely, but you have the medallion. I'd like to use the medallion of thoughts.
Okay.
The shady
So you
medallion.
use that, and the what?
The shady medallion.
um, the I mean, I made that joke last night too, when
Sorry.
Yeah.
Kosk used the tech thoughts. Like, I use the tech thoughts? Is it shady in the tube? But the you open your mind, focusing through this thing, and you hear that whisper of your friend's thoughts. You know, you would have to like listen a little more intently to hear anything, but you just kind of hear that like sounds like background conversation, so you can't really tell what things are going or being said. But as you focus on this conscious Sahagin, I don't know if you've ever used this around an unconscious person, but it's basically you get like half-formed dream thoughts, you know, a little more they seem to be like thinking about conflict, since they were knocked out in battle, so that seems to be lingering on their unconscious mind as this
Yeah.
lingering on the edge of death. But as you take a moment of feedback interference as you like glance at the sea pig thing, and then just like a after image after staring at the sun, or like an asshole as high beams on the other side of the road.
It's the eyes,
And
isn't it?
yes, they just
God damn it.
flash in your mind, and it's like a brain freeze, just or like a mind sliver. No damage, but it just feels like a spike of pain in your brain
Oh,
as
ow,
you just see
ow,
these
ow,
eyes.
ow. She clutches at her head.
You okay?
Oh god. I was looking into its thoughts. But when I looked at this thing, I saw the thing in the cove. I saw the thing in the cove. I saw its eyes, and it hurt. I think I got a glimpse of it, like its greater self, even maybe. I don't know. That hurt. That's. Ugh. Don't recommend. It didn't. Well, I'm gonna try and dig deeper in the Sahagin. So just if he wakes up and tries to stab me, just I guess that's on me if that happens.
That's a good question. How does it work on unconscious?
No thoughts. Head empty.
It might actually not work.
Actually have
Hell, thought.
I spell list up on another tab already. Oh, that's where I can't find. I was looking at the B's, not the D's. Detect thoughts.
It doesn't say anything about
Yeah.
unconscious creatures. Not that I see.
Yeah, so I'd actually say with it being unconscious, it would probably have disadvantage.
Yeah. Intelligence saving throw. Which the save on the medallion is.
Oh, I thought it was. Wait, is it a wisdom or intelligence?
Oh, it's intelligence. Did I put up? Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, I don't say anything about unconscious creatures. Okay, so
I think the save was 12 or 13.
oh, now I gotta find the
Yeah, I thought I had it written
stat
down.
block again in my giant list of. There it is, Sahagins. Wisdom.
It doesn't use. Yeah.
Even without disadvantage, yeah, that failed. So, what are you're probing in?
Yes.
What are you seeking? Since it's unconscious, it's
Um,
not really thinking. When you probe in, you get flashes of the conflict, like of it, like swimming up and climbing up the side of the cliff, and like flashes of the fight. But there's
I
not really
want.
a guidance to it yet.
I want to see its home, where it came from. Not like a location, but I want to see what it's like. You know, what the visuals are, how many Sahagin there are. Yeah, what is the state of where it lives?
All right. So you think of its home, and you probe, and there's a moment where it's like you're suddenly swimming yourself. You know, it's the sun is shining through the clear waters above, and you're seeing the point of view of the Sahagin as they're swimming alongside a handful of other Sahagin, spears in hand, net sacks. Nets full of fish already caught as they go over this like of coral reef, and over it you see what looks to be just this the village grown out of the coral itself over ages by Sahagin carefully tending to it as you know the coral built into burrows, and you see sharks swimming idly by, or just you know laying on the sandy areas. There's seagrass beds. You see looks like an idyllic Sahagin village, and then it's like the sun goes dark, or like a cloud passes, and then it's the same village, but the sharks are now swimming on an obsessive patrol. Hagen seem to just drift in place or work at minor tasks, just weapons in hand, staring off blankly, as you see Marrow swimming by, moving under their own will in comparison to the Sahagin, as it just almost night and day, the comparison of these fond memories of before, and then seeing what you realize is the current state of this enslaved Sahagin village. And like you realize that this is almost like a moment of clarity that you're recalling as it's like looking out across the thing before, almost like Ghost Phantom Pain, you feel the thing dig into your own gills, but it's just a momentary sensation.
She rubs at her. She like her hand comes up and rubs at her neck.
You okay?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw its home. I saw their homes. It's terrible. Sahagin used to they live in a reef that's been like grown into a living place. They used to have sharks.
I will say. Oh, sorry, continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
They used to have. Do I know what a shark is?
I would hope
you
so.
know what a shark is.
Used to have sharks just living in their village with them. They was just doing normal things like would happen in this village. But then it was all different and terrible. They're just standing there, just staring off into space or doing menial labor, while the Marrow are walking freely without any kind of control.
If I remember correctly, I think the lizard folk tribe, the Moonscale, said the Sahuagin used to be allies, neighbors.
Yeah, they're basically like a trading neighbor. the lizard folk, and actually, I was actually going to bring that up, Ray. You did see what looked to be like tools that were probably made like by the lizard folk, like in the earlier memories, but then like in the current memories, there you see a lot more surface tools being. It looks probably like stuff that got salvaged, and actually, there are like fortifications built into the new village, built out of what looks to be like shipwreck pieces, like pieces of hull or like mass.
They fortified that place. It will not be easy getting in there.
No kidding.
Corona. No.
Mhm.
Dang it! I did it again. I muted the wrong thing. But I'll fix it in a second. It sounds like I'm at the bottom of a pool when this happens. Corona, you would remember that when you had your vision just a few hours prior, this cave built into the reef, or like in the reef, you didn't see a village. It was like in the middle of a shipwreck graveyard.
She looks at Rayon and kind of shakes her head. It's like, where I saw it, it was just surrounded by shipwrecks. There was no village.
She frowns. Well, I saw pieces of shipwrecks being used to make barriers and armaments. But I guess they would just want their little living space that they've taken over to, I guess, just be more protected. I guess, yeah, that's different than the thing's home. Or, well, dwelling. Yeah.
Okay, that's better.
I'm exhausted now. I'm sure you guys are tired too. Let's tie him up so he can't hurt himself or us if he wakes up. And we can look into removing this tomorrow. Does that sound? Okay.
I'd rather not do it now and risk doing it incorrectly.
Yeah. Poor people. I guess I can't blame myself for this one.
It's alright. We'll have a good time. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Me too. She shuffles over and flops into a resting spot.
Yeah, I'll
Oh, so I will say, someone just do a medicine check, just in general, or so it can be either history, medicine, or nature. Just real quick. I know all of those are basically intelligence, but
medicine
I'm bad
is
at
wisdom.
everything.
Medicine is wisdom, so
Wisdom.
I'm better at that, so I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, fucking 7, of course.
Oh god.
again, Ryan, you would have advantage.
Okay. Oh!
Ryan, there's a moment where you're like, oh wait, shit. Sahagin. Here, I'll just.
Oh, okay.
Their
Gee,
gills
it's
need
like
to be
goes to-
they need to be frequently submerged. They
She
can't
like
hold their
starts
breath
to flop
indefinitely.
over, but stops midair, and stands back up. Right. What time of night is it now?
It's probably like 2, 3 in the morning.
Okay.
His middle watch.
If we don't put him in, if we don't submerge him in water every couple hours, he will die.
Should we just get a barrel and fill it with
Yeah,
water?
actually, that's a
and-
good idea. I'll make some water.
Waterboard him to life.
Yeah, get a barrel, put him
Toss it.
inside, create
Yeah.
water.
And then just like tie the top down.
Usually, when
Yeah.
we stuff someone in a barrel, we don't hope the best.
Tie him
Gotta
up too, so
pickle
he's
the
gonna make
Sahagin.
that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are we all gonna pickle him next?
What? What's
You're
pickling?
pickling the herring.
God damn it!
Get out!
What?
I demand you get out of your own game.
All right, that should keep him alive or till we can get, tomorrow. You take care of this tomorrow. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go. I have now expended pretty much every single resource I have. I've got like a tentacle or two left, and I think water walk.
So, everyone going back to bed.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't can't sleep,
What?
but yeah. It might be a little harder for some than others, Ryoko, to fall back asleep, but the you do hear people moving about. It seems that some portion of the village are now just up and dealing with repairs and cleanup even in the middle of the storm. But sleep eventually comes to everyone, unless someone did want to stay up. But the storm continues for a good while yet, and whoever would be up would actually see it's while the thunder and lightning has abated, it is still overcast and raining decently. Not a complete downpour by the time sunrise would come around, but let's see. I need everyone to just do me a fun little wisdom saving throw.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh no! I don't want. Oh god! Oh my god!
Nice to know
my
my rolls are
God!
back.
Okay. Let's see. Ryoko, you are just a deep sleeper, so you wake up eventually just fine.
Yay!
Corona, as you sleep, your dreams do become of waves, but eventually it's almost as if something helps buoy you up on it's almost like static filling your wings, lifting you back up into a stormy sky, and you have a peaceful dream. But the rest of you, in your own way, you find yourselves dreaming, and you find yourselves deep beneath the waves, deeper than even the reef, deeper than many of you would even believe the sea would go. It's just completely black all around you, just pressure. It feels like you would. Besides Rayan, it feels like all the rest of you. It just feels like you're just moments away of just compressing. Not to get topical, but and then you see nothing. It's just side again, like Rayan. It's comforting almost.
Yeah.
Only for Rayan it would be comforting, since this is where Raygax.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
where I entered.
Yes, but the rest of you, it is dark and oppressive until eventually there's a light.
Oh.
The point of red off in the distance, and then another, but from a different direction, more down than up and to the left. Down and to the left. But then from a completely different direction, you see a third. And you see these 3 red points of light slowly circling. And then you see a fourth from a different direction.
Oh.
Then a fifth. Then 8. Then 10. Then 15. Multiple lights just lighting up in the darkness. Until eventually you see one of them approach. And you realize it's not one light, but 3 lights, 3 eyes grouped together. Seemingly one light in the distance, but as it approaches, these eyes burn into you. The water swirling around it as if a sentient whirlpool is approaching. As these eyes shift almost in a kaleidoscope manner, as you feel this presence adding to the pressure, and you just hear this burbling voice, and Rayan, you recognize, and actually Quiet Hearts, you would recognize it as well. This voice saying, "There is no light here. You will all drown in the deep." And then you
Can
are.
I say something before I wake up? Wait, am I able to, or am I woken up?
What'd you say?
I'll drown you first.
As you wake up, it's almost kind of shocking. All 4 of you waking up almost in unison.
Ryan does not scream this time, but that wasn't
Meanwhile,
great.
Ryoko is sleeping very comfy in her little cot space. Getting all snuggly with the covers.
Baron was all poofed up, ecstatic.
Just up in the rafters or something.
Finally
Ryan,
sleep on a perch.
Ryan sits up and rubs her eye. And again.
It takes a while to rub the other eyes.
He doesn't.
Quiet Hearts kind of like sits up. You know how like the military sit up of like almost like a fucking like just a full right angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just
Go
get up.
creak.
Yeah. Slowly stand up, and then they just begin to walk out of the hut.
Yeah, wait. Oh.
It's they go over to where probably the same place they stashed the Sahagin is where they stashed the items they got from the raid, I would guess.
Yeah.
It's like, we're tired, we don't want to deal with this right now, so it's all going here.
Yeah, there's this little hut here is basically where they store dried fish and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably the nets are there for drying the day's catch and then storing for further salting and stuff in there. So that's pretty much where you stash things, and the chul, because there was talk of potentially salvaging. It got cooked pretty well by that call lightning, but that paralytic slime that Quiet Hearts got familiar with might be useful.
So they go to where we stashed all the equipment and whatnot, and they focus right in on the armor that the Blade Master wore. You know, the plated armor. And they look down at it, and they just stare at it for a minute before reaching out and placing a hand on it, and it's just like the internal struggle on if they should even attempt to use it or not. It's like it is like the armor of a dead person, someone who was possibly innocent, being controlled, and yeah. So on top of that, they're not strong enough to use it. We're just kind of like looking at this armor for a bit.
Right, there's the whole strength requirement.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My hearts.
Just they don't even turn. They're just like a dull glow under the helmet and go, "Yes, Ram."
Are you okay?
I don't think we have the luxury of not being okay at the moment. If we're going to be
I'm sorry,
fighting,
double negatives still confuse me.
okay. I think we need to be at our strongest to fight that thing. And this armor is better than mine. It's a lot better considering how ruined it's been getting.
Well, and she, cautiously, nervously walks over and like puts a hand on like some of the damaged pieces of the armor. If you want to take a little time, I might be able to help with that.
I think my armor should see a blacksmith before it's used again. I'm not sure how well it's holding up as is, honestly.
Yeah, we can do that. I just mean, and she like puts her hand over one of the dents and casts mending and it's like trying to, pop the dent back out of place.
Yeah. It wasn't so damaged that mending wouldn't be able to fix it up.
It's
Yeah,
not unusable, but it's like we should probably do something about this before it's just is unusable. But anyways,
And
they're
then
just looking.
next to the Blade Master it's like one half of a shell, like a big clam that's been turned into a shield, and the Marasite longsword, the curved weapon.
Like
Yeah.
they already have a turtle shell shield. It's the underwater breathing shield. Anyways, but
Yeah.
so they just look at this armor and they say, "I am too weak to use it. I was never physically strong."
I mean, like holds up her arm and like, I've got like nothing here, so
They look down to the Warhammer, or Rayan's Warhammer specifically, and they look at it for a minute and then cock their head and go, "But I don't use my strength to use this. It's all power." And they just tilt their head and turn to the armor, and then they look to Ray and goes, "Please, watch in case something terrible happens."
what? Wait, why would something terrible happen?
Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, then maybe you should wait. Maybe you should be careful.
No, I don't think we should wait. The sooner I
What?
try, the sooner we. They just reach forward. They put their hand on the plate armor,
I don't.
and so I'm sorry, but I need to do this.
But I don't want you to. I don't want something bad to happen to you.
There's nothing bad that can happen to me at this point.
Yes, there is. There's a lot.
I think that was supposed to be a platitude. I'm sorry.
You're my first friend. One of my first friends. I'm not gonna sit here and watch as you do something that might hurt you.
I don't think it will, but
What are you doing?
I'm going to try and suffuse the armor like I did the weapon.
Oh, that's
can't-
much less scary.
I can't physically use it, but if I if it's bonded to me through essence, I'm not sure the right words, mana maybe, I could probably use it without breaking under its strain.
Well, you still have your hand on the armor.
Yes.
She goes over and puts her hand over yours.
It's just a weird little. The eyes lighten up a bit and goes, "Yes, we are connected in a way. This might help."
Yeah, we are. We'll talk about that eventually.
Um, yes, when we have a moment. It's,
Yeah.
they're gonna just suddenly the all light under the helmet just goes completely dark. It's almost a void inside there now, and the just slowly there's just a aura of. It's a very turbulent aura, one that flickers and flutters as it ekes out over the armor. It's
Ryan
somewhat.
bites her lip very hard to not make any noises.
It's kind of white in color, very like you know those old light bulbs that are kind of just this weird dull off white, kind of like that.
Mhm.
And it's just like
Huh.
slowly it encompasses the armor, and then there's as it does, another color just moves through the aura, and it becomes almost a very like light lavender or purple, and this secondary color kind of bonds with the first,
Cool.
and then Quiet Hearts opens their eyes with a gasp, and the armor literally launches itself at them.
Oh my god!
Like it,
Ryan's like knocked backwards.
like the armor just like it does a full. I'm not going to even play around. It does an Iron Man. It just like molds into.
I was gonna say
molds into
Gizmo
the
Duck.
body. Yeah, Gizmo Duck is probably more apt since that armor doesn't really move. Like yeah, just there's brief flashes of Quiet Hearts' body underneath. You can
Oh.
see like as the old armor is literally just being shunted off their body by magical means. It's like there's just flashes of the pale lines, the scars, the eyes, and then this new armor just takes the place, and they're just looking down at it, and they just do a little hopping motion, like, okay, I can move. It's like, yay, it worked.
Eye wide, looking at you.
Yeah, they're gonna gather up their old armor and say, I should take this to the local smith so they can repair it and give it to someone who deserves it.
Uh-huh. You deserve it, but
Yes, but I can't use two armors at once. That's a bit excessive. Almost
Yeah,
greedy in a way. I'd rather not.
Super clinky.
I'd rather not keep on to it when it could be saving someone else's life.
yeah, that's a good idea.
So
I'll stay here.
just they've already had the armor gathered in their arms, and they're kind of struggling to hold it all, but they'll reach out. Like, you know, have you seen like somebody try and open a door when their hands are full of groceries?
Yes.
Yeah, that.
I've been
Just, like,
that person.
just weakly move a
That was me
hand
yesterday.
out. Yeah, like just kind of move hand out carefully from the bundle, just lightly pat Ray on the shoulder, and then they're gonna like turn around and head off. They did keep their helmet, by the way. They didn't. I don't think the Blade Master had a helmet.
Nope.
Yeah.
It was just the armor, except for a helmet on Gorget.
Yep. So it's just their helmet, which is remained, which is probably a wee bit dented, but fine.
And
Yeah.
watches them go. It's like, there's so many scars. That's that.
Yeah, there was a lot.
God, stupid idea.
Yeah.
There's Quiet Hearts has so many eyes. If they were naked, shit, I'm sorry, I keep doing that. If they were naked, they wouldn't be able to get flanked because they have full vision, 360.
I mean, I do plan to pick up Alert eventually, so that would be closer to accurate. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much the end of my scene. Is them just fighting over
Yeah,
the
good
morality of
stuff.
picking up the armor.
Yeah.
So, what was going on? What's everyone else doing? Corona and Ryoko, you wake up to seeing everyone just having seeming to have a rough start.
Oh, you guys.
How's how's everyone else doing after that? The other two.
Wow, you guys really don't deal with lack of sleep well, do you?
You look a little rough.
How you doing, Amon?
Yeah.
There were voices in the night. I called it a bitch. That is
We
all.
were there. No, you didn't.
Well, that was the
No,
thing. No one felt like you didn't sense your friends around you.
I know.
You felt like you were
I'm saying that as a player.
Yeah.
So I tried to. I forgot my microphone was muted. So
Oh,
it happens.
Might be it
It
didn't
happens.
happen.
It happens.
I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Amon's just looks like he's been like dragged to hell and back. Still probably bearing a few of the, hey, I did get in a fight at 3 a.m.
Yeah, because you got chopped up pretty decently by the Blade Master, if I remember right.
Yes. I would assume like in the back corner near his stuff there is the sword that he just dragged. Yeah, I was at 34 of 82 hit points at the end of it.
That's what happens when you go into a fight naked.
Yeah.
The GM said I was naked. What was I supposed to do? Fight it?
Naked man.
Bird.
So yeah,
You wanna? Did
Sorry, go ahead.
something happen to you?
Hmm?
Maybe breakfast would cheer us all up.
Be a good
Yes.
idea anyway.
Yeah.
Has anyone checked on the barrel this morning?
No.
I'd like.
We should probably check in case it started fermenting.
God.
That is an awfully morbid way to put it this early in the morning, but yes.
I really hope it hasn't.
God.
Would pickled Sahagan taste like fermented shark?
There is a bird side eye.
I was almost out of character with Grayson going, what the fuck? What does Sahagan taste like?
I mean, to be
But
fair,
Amon's not awake enough.
yeah, Amon is a little sleep deprived. That's fine. He can say weird things. I'm just going to judge him for it.
Fair.
So, by the time you all head out, I assume to go look for breakfast. The rain's gone down to a drizzle, and you do see in the distance, sunbeams starting to poke through. So it seems this summoned storm is nearing the end of its steam, or losing steam. But yeah, you do see people moving around. They've been cleaning up. You don't see any bodies laying around. It seems they really wanted to clean that up before any of the youth got up. But looking around, it looks like there wasn't too much collateral damage. Seems like some stands got maybe knocked over, or like the roof covers, but for the most part, it doesn't look like no fires broke out or anything during the storm. But you approach the central cooking area, and yeah, there's let me check. Rosilda made sure this time making breakfast, doing the communal breakfast and handing out bowls bowls of food from the big cauldron that they seem to cook pretty much everything in. So you do see an anchor discussing to the side as they're or as Oravir's eating, but Oravir, Anchor's not eating anything.
Yeah. Rand comes over, gets herself a plate, and then just heads over and like sits by herself and starts fiddling with something as she eats.
Oh, so actually, this would be funny. As you were as the group was leaving the hut, if you see Quiet Hearts, and Quiet Hearts is suddenly decked out in this full plate armor, but you know they weren't gone long enough to have equipped a suit of armor that quickly, and you're thinking last night.
When the fuck?
Just
It's fine. I'll ask when I'm feeling not half dead.
yeah, it was
And
just,
Amon's
I
just gonna
realized
go
that would
straight
be,
to breakfast, just like, it's like, there is no way that it went that fast with that much bullshit. But it is way too early, and I am way too sore for this. And he's just gonna go get breakfast, sit quietly.
So
I
everyone
also-
just gathering breakfast and
Getting food in us, having a good start to a good day.
Wondering how we're going to do live surgery on a Sahagin later.
Yeah.
and it's actually Jaren who walks up, the the tiefling man who fished you up on the beach, or found you all washed up on the beach. Ooh, excuse me. As he walks up and he goes, bowl of morning stew or breakfast chowder, and he's just like, so once it clears up a little bit more, we can head out. Or, if you want to join me, you can head out to the beach you washed up on. That's, usually the first one I check. If nothing there, I'll continue along the coast a bit before heading back.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Not every time after a storm, something washes up, but the one you don't check is when you find the remains of some sailor lost in the woods, in the jungle.
Right.
Bas-
I think I'll pass.
I'm going.
Oh.
I'm going to go. Ow.
Yes. So I was also going to say, out of game or above game. Today's session will be, dealer's choice. You don't have to go with Jarian. You can use that to start off, and then go do other stuff among the island. But you know, there's no immediate pressing thing besides maybe talking, to Sahag and Sergi. But when you checked on them, I'll say Corona, when you checked on them before going to go get breakfast, they were still unconscious, but stable. But you guys, what you want to do today?
Ryan is not going.
Okay, no wandering off and causing trouble. We will be too far away to help.
I'm not. I'm staying here. You know what? She stands up with her plate and walks away.
Well, I think you pissed off the kid.
Probably.
To be fair, I think she's been pissed off for a while.
I have been told that this is a phase in mammals called teenager days.
She is very much not a mammal.
Are we sure she's a mammal? I think she might be some sort of barnacle.
Closer.
There's at least a percentage that is barnacle.
I believe that any sapient thing has that stage in their growth where they're just a little asshole.
Oh, wow! Wow!
You walked away.
You walk away, and she walks away, and you decide to start shit talking her. Okay,
I didn't say a single thing.
you did it. You won, I didn't.
It is teenager phase time, I believe.
Oh my god, no! She's fucking worried and stressed. Fuck you.
Like a teenager.
But honestly, Amon, I don't think that's what Rayan is going through at the moment. I think
No.
she's just... all of this is just weighing on her mind.
That is fair. My ribs hurt. I am not thinking straight. I might roll a hit dice before we go to the beach. Out of character.
We got the rest of our long rest,
Yeah,
didn't we?
We
Yeah.
did get a long rest.
You-
but
I did.
I did.
Yeah, I'll say that you probably had to sleep in a bit later, but yes, you did get a long rest.
Okay, then I can just go back up to full. That's fine. So I
You
was
want
acting like I was
what's the thing that you're doing?
I'm gonna head down to the beach with that guy.
just to make sure there's
Just for
nothing...
fun?
Hmm?
Oh, to make sure there's no stragglers?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I'll come with you on that one.
Cool.
And actually, as you were talking, Orovir approaches next, and he goes, right, okay, she seemed to be in a huff.
I think it was because I said she was acting like a teenager.
Ah, yeah, that would do it. Even if someone is a teenager acting like a teenager, they don't want to hear that.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. I didn't call her a teenager to her face. It was, I said, now if we're going to the beach, don't go wandering off and causing trouble. Which I feel like is a general statement that I would tell anyone if I was concerned about leaving them alone.
And with this island, it's not a bad, suggestion. But so last night was eventful. Glances around, making sure there wasn't anyone really close by.
Yes, it was. We in particular had more diverse units, and I have a new trophy from one of the Sahag, and I don't know if it's the one that's in the barrel or not, but
It
we were
would
able
have
to.
been a different one.
Would have been a different one. I couldn't remember which one we shoved in the barrel.
Yeah, the one that had the sword was the one in the was the one that had the armor that Quiet Hearts just looted.
Yes, yes. But I've picked up the sword, and our friend Quiet Hearts has gotten a new set of armor. No idea how they changed into it that fast. I just saw them like 20 minutes ago. But we're not going
Quiet
to
Hearts
question
is
that.
there.
Yes, it's just like
I think everyone's there, right? Unless Quiet Hearts, you were.
They probably
went off somewhere else.
just got back from like dropping off the armor. And
I figured this was after all that, and everyone had went to eat together. But
okay.
yeah, so you yeah, so you're on grousing about that.
just, I have no idea how they got out of that armor that fast. I'm calling Paladin shenanigans.
Like they weren't gone for 20 minutes. They were probably gone for like 5 minutes, honestly.
Yeah,
Amon,
that's the thing.
Amon is giving him the benefit of the doubt. He's not that awake yet.
Like, so they like sidle up and hear this and just like, oh, I tried something I wasn't sure would work.
Like the most impressive theater costume change.
Well, then congratulations. That's
you-
handy.
You know I'm not very physically strong, right?
This is something that my characters say. It's like, you did not work for your gains.
We don't have gains.
You have no gains. You cheated the system.
I was not aware that you were not physically strong.
You not only cheated the
physically
game, you cheated yourself.
Not physically strong, but as Raid could protest, can definitely hit hard.
Yeah.
I'm not very strong, and I'm not very quick. I just have a lot of magical ability.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So I was barely strong enough to use my old arm.
Oh. Huh.
It was actually extremely tiring. So I learned to suffuse my magical ability, and that's why I can actually hit with it, and not just have enemies laugh at me.
Oh.
I don't think enemies would laugh at you. You are a very intimidating force on the battlefield.
Not if I was using my actual strength. It would have been hilariously pathetic.
Fair enough. I am strong for a lizard, for a Troodon. Why did I say lizard? What is wrong with me, Grayson? What the fuck?
Are you okay, Amon?
I am tired. I was
I'm imagining
in
like
deep
philosophical. There's like philosophical arguments in the Troodon community about whether or not they are applicable as lizards and/or birds.
Lizards or birds, or yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
but like
it's
they'll
a
argue
debate
with
that
each other. It's like,
rages
do
to
we
this-
deserve lizard privileges at the same time?
It's a debate that rages to this day and very hotly in some colleges on Gardenia.
Yeah, exactly.
We technically fall closer to birds than lizards, but I am just tired. It is fine.
What's the dinosaur version? What would dinosaurs call anthropology? Their version of anthropology.
Dinobiology.
Sauropology?
Sauropology would probably be right. Yeah, sauropology I
Yeah.
think would be the technically correct term because it would be saurian reptile-like, because a lot of them are like that. They
Yeah,
probably would
true.
not call themselves dinosaurs because that is in fact terrible lizards. And while the irony of
Yeah.
dinosaurs being terrible lizards is true because they're birds,
Just
nomenclature is weird.
terrible lizards. Disgusting.
Terrible lizards, you got that right.
Such
You
terrible
should see
lizards,
my
they're
wife.
birds. Anyways, so
But I'm going to go get some fresh air and check the beaches for survivors today. Quiet Hearts. I do appreciate your concern.
I would like to go with.
Okay.
and Orville, who's still there, goes, "Oh, good. Jaren's usually good about doing that. He's always happy to have help, and I think he's the one who found you and led you to the village, right?"
I do believe so, yes. I feel it is an honorable action to help those in situations that I was in. But we were in technically. But yes,
So-
we had a fun fight last night. It's been a long while since I've bled that hard. Not even the Anzu made me bleed that hard.
And he kind of grazes and goes, "Not even our little duel."
And he pauses for a little bit, thinking about it. No, our duel made me bleed that hard, and actually I think a little harder than that. But
Yeah, he kind of
still bled more than the Anzu, which was impressive. Because the Anzu was really trying. And those Marrow just weren't.
Oh god, sorry, I'm laughing at the trend posting. God, you went through some effort for that. The handle.
Oh my god, the Hungry Sea even! Holy shit!
You have to read that out loud.
Alright, I'm not irresponsible. I'm not irresponsible! I continue to insist as I slowly shrink and transform into a sea cucumber.
From user Rayad at the Hungry Sea.
Yes!
Oh god. So, whoever goes, well, I'm gonna pretty much, and he kind of looks around the village. He goes, I spoke with Anchor. We're going to be focusing on possibly reinforcing the village. That was the biggest, force they sent against the village. Normally, when they attack, it's not even attacking; it's raiding. They just go after supplies, tools, and stuff. Or something that washed ashore, and we salvaged that they wanted, stuff like that. Never numbers like that. Never Chul. And he kind of looks over to the cooking area, and you see Susanna, the half elf daughter of Rosilda, and Matilda, the village leader. She's actually there, prying open what looks to be a different Chul's claw, and like shucking it and harvesting it,
Oh.
like collecting the like emptying out the meat and setting the shell aside.
Oh no.
Now I'm craving sea scorpion fajitas. Oh no. But we have another one of those over in our food storage area. I believe Grayson, you idiot, you can't forget. Ryoko was going to be taking some poisons out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna milk it dry.
Oh, God. With Ioane's help being the monster butcher, both of you would be able to work on that.
Nice.
So
Yeah, Oravir says he basically says the same thing. It's just like village is basically just gonna focus on reinforcing and repair, and he goes, continue to do what you can to, prepare. We've already sent Gongalor is going to go travel over to the lizard folk, and you realize you haven't seen the ogre this morning. Probably left at sunrise, but
absolutely
he
fair.
goes, Gongalor is going to deliver a message to the lizard folk, informing them that we want to meet and collab. That's a word. This is out of character. Not collaborate. And I don't know. Meet and collaborate on planning the assault on the reef. We know where the village is, where the Sahagan village is, where the Moonscale do, so we know where to attack.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And Amon's going to lean into Oravir. So Rayan took a look at one of the Sahagins that wasn't quite dead, and found something had been living in its gills and may have been controlling its mind. So if you hear of a barrel thrashing and cursing later on in Aquan, that's why.
Yes, we actually noticed that from the Sahagan we killed and some of the ones we captured. There's like 4 of them that managed to subdue or survive the attack. But yeah, kind of thing on growing out of the gills. At least that's what Marlene said. Her and Dr. Vuteg, I think it was. Yeah, Dr. Vuteg, the orc. But they were looking at those.
I believe Rayan identified it as some sort of sea pig, though I did not see the pig part in it.
You did
Yeah,
not see
that's
pig?
what they were saying.
I also don't know what a pig looks like.
I mean, there are. You would know what a pig is. There are
Okay, that's
boars
fair.
and pigs.
Fair enough. Never
Pigs did
mind.
survive because pigs are actually very hardy and can survive in like ship conditions better than almost any other farm animal.
Fair enough.
There was a lot of pork eaten in the years after the deluge.
Pork.
Work. Pork.
Pork.
So, yeah, he goes, well, from what we can gather is maybe these things are, because what you told us when you've encountered some of the sleepwalkers, or at least that's what we've just been calling them.
Mm-hmm.
Good solid smack seems to wake them up eventually, but we were cutting these things down like they didn't have a minds of their own, so maybe these things are a leash.
I could see that these things are being some sort of form of control for the Sahagan, where they haven't been the most, obedient,
Yeah,
for lack of a
the
better
marrow
term.
we killed. Yes, the doctor said that from the marrow we killed, and that she inspected, none of them had the same parasite.
Yes.
Neither did the chul. But
Rand did say that Amon that she saw the village and the marrow were just walking around freely.
Yes. He'll relay that information as necessary.
if we can wake them up or remove these things, maybe they can tell us more vital information.
Corano seemed to have some success with that, doing a medical check in the gills and carefully removing it.
Oh, that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, that
I
hasn't
was
happened
Yeah,
just
yet.
it has an
expecting it.
idea.
I had an idea.
Oh, had an idea for it at the very least. My apologies.
Okay.
If
It goes-
anybody has any more medical experience than I do, they would probably be a better choice than me.
And he goes, I mean, could bring them to Dr. Vuteg and Marlene. They'd probably be the best. Vuteg, she's a student of Saint Sanguisuga.
Would be a good choice.
So, Orvira nods and goes, well, you know, keep up the good work. I'll probably be here when you return. Just glances around and he goes, Orvira agreed it's probably best. He also spoke to Ventralk after he left your place, but with the three of us agreed it is probably best we keep it under wraps about our mutual friend's connection to our mutual enemy.
Yes. I think that would be
And
wise.
when we
for
passed
all
that along
parties.
to Susanna, or not Susanna, although this morning she concurred.
I think for the safety of Rain, that is a wonderful idea.
What's for the safety of Rand?
Not telling
quiet,
everybody.
Not here. Not here. Not here. I left at the worst time.
You did.
It's, in character,
Yeah, you annoyed her. Well, you upset her when she was already being a bit stressed out.
It's
Yes.
like everyone needs to go on a vacation. Probably like an island. Oh, never mind.
God damn it.
It's kind of hard to go on an island vacation when, pretty much the
This
only
is
land
my
around is
Ryan,
islands.
This is my vacation.
So, Orville will eventually, he's chit-chats a while. You get the sense that he's grown to like the group, but he eventually excuses himself once he sees Anchor probably looking to get started working. But Ryan,
Yes.
so you went off on your own to eat?
Yeah, and she also has pulled out something and sick fiddling with it.
Okay. Are you just like sitting on like a stump or log somewhere? Because this place has been cleared out. There's like plenty of places like you could just find to sit off by yourself.
Yeah.
So you're working on something, and as you are kind of eating, there's like a loud fluttering noise, and then a thump as sitting on the log next to you. You look over, and there's Neri, the harpy woman
Jump a little.
from the ship.
Yeah,
And
she
she just kind of grins and goes, "Oh, sorry."
No, it's okay. I just wasn't expecting is all. I was a little in my own world, I guess.
Yeah, you were. Sorry if I'm intruding. You seemed a little bummed when you were walking away from your friends.
No, Lamont said something. He's not entirely wrong, but still, he said, "We're not going to be here, so if you get into trouble, we won't be able to help you." And like
I mean,
I said, technically true, but like, I'm not trying to get in trouble. I just Whatever. She like stuffs some food in her mouth.
And she kind of nods. She goes, I mean, I get it. You know, moms. I'm not saying, you know, like they're your parents, but yeah, my mom's always just like,
Uh,
technically an adult mom. You know, I'm just another sailor like anyone else on that crew. You don't have to baby me.
oh, right? Like, you know, I get that they're worried about you or me or whatever, but like, I'm old enough to fucking. I'm older than all of you combined.
She kind of laughs at that. She goes, I mean, she, she laughs along with you, just not like you don't get the sense she like completely believes it, but you know
Yeah, yeah.
she seems in a good mood. So, what you working on? She kind of
Oh,
does the bird head tilt.
so when they pulled me up out of the water, I had some stuff on me. I can't remember
Yeah.
what it all was. Like, there's this weird dagger. She holds up her fucking dagger. Scratched from a flag? There's also this, and she pulls up a concertina. And I just,
Oh,
now that
nice.
I've had time to sit down, I'm wondering how this works.
She goes, well, I wouldn't be much help there. She kind of looks at the little, like, 3 claws that stick out of her wings. That she's like, I don't think I have like the right thumbs for it.
I don't know how it works at all, so.
But there is right buffering. Oh, there's that halfling guy, the musician.
The
Feather
entire
Bottom.
world buffered. The
She
entire
kind of
world
laughs at
buffered
that.
around Rayan for a second.
She kind of laughs at that. She goes, "Yeah, a little offensive, but yeah, that halfling name of Featherbottom. Apparently, he's a musician. And you remember him? You rescued him
Yeah.
from the cage alongside Ventralk and some of the lizard folk.
Oh, yeah, he is,
And you do
he's
remember he did have a fiddle.
yeah, he had a thing with him. I don't know what fiddle is. It's
Yeah,
just
she
a
goes,
thing.
yeah. She goes, yeah, the fiddle. Yeah, he was when he got back. You know, when Olivia got back with him and the crab guy, or the Carcanos guy, they he played a song, pretty good. And
Oh, is that
actually,
what
you
this
remember last night. What's that?
She's like, oh, is that what this is? It's for song?
Yeah, music. She kind of squints. She goes, "Oh wow, we really did just scoop you out of the ocean, brand new, didn't we?"
Kinda, sorta.
She goes, I mean, that's cool. You get to learn about everything. That's cool. But
Oh, she's smart
I mean,
at that. Yeah, I get to learn about everything that's cool.
I don't know if I'd be any help with that, but yeah, by talking to him. And you would actually remember that there had, like, the night before it started storming, you did hear like a few pluckings of some instrument, you know, the fiddle on the distance, and you did see him wandering around the village before the storm rolled in and everyone retreated to their dwellings.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I think I guess I'll ask him how it works later. Thank you.
And she grins and nods. She goes, I should thank you guys. It's getting frustrating not being able to fly and actually just tiring walking everywhere. Now, at least with the flies, if they get too close, they get chased away, and they're loud enough you hear them. I can hear them coming, but that big bird, oof.
Oh yeah, that Anzu was rough.
Well,
Um,
thank you
are
for
you?
making the skies a little bit safer.
Well, it wasn't just me. I
Tell the others
I
thank
guess.
you too, and I'll probably see them too, but you'll see more.
Yeah. I guess I did. Guess I did help with that. Yeah. Yeah. Are you handling the island okay? Like otherwise?
She kind of looks around and shrugs, big poofy wings. And she's like, I mean, it might be nice to go back to Altec eventually, but it's a nice, I guess, vacation. Kind of grimaces, and she goes, "Hello, wish everyone on the crew made it, but," she kind of shrugs. It's not too bad here, all things considered. The village is
What?
nice.
What's Altec?
Yeah, not everyone from the ship made it to the island, and you found her.
No,
The
no.
two.
She said she preferred like Altec. She said.
Oh, yeah, that
what's
was
Altec?
that's kind of home port for mom and me. It's the capital of the Commonwealth, the Gezer Commonwealth. It's actually where where the dolphin was going before all this happened.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Well, it's not technically the capital. They have this whole thing about how each island, city, state is their own thing, but Altec's the biggest one, and that's where they have the parliament, and or not the parliament. It would be the forum. And she goes, it's it's a city built in the mouth of a giant snake skeleton skull. It's the capital city of the Commonwealth for a reason.
What?
And she goes, "Oh, I mean, if we get off the island, you're gonna love it. It's the entire city is in the mouth and skull of a massive snake, like a primal titan that died during the deluge or something, maybe even before that. After, I don't know. They history. I'm not a history nerd, but
That's
yeah,
fascinating.
and it links the island and a few other nearby islands, and that's the Serpent Spine Bridge, Serpent Spine Road.
Oh, I really want to see that one day.
I mean, we managed to get there. I could show you some of the cool places around there. It's basically
I'd love
home.
to. I'd love to.
Mom does that's basically where mom that's where mom transports a lot of her contraband to, or did. Don't know if we'll still have our contracts when we get back, since the dolphins driftwood. I mean, quite literally driftwood now.
Well, maybe we'll get a.
Oh.
Maybe we'll,
And she
well,
kind
maybe
of
we'll be
laughed
able
at that. She goes, "Oh, I gotta share that joke with mom, but she's gonna hate it. But I know eventually she's gonna laugh. The driftwood dolphin is now just driftwood."
Oh. Wordplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She goes, "Well, I gotta go."
Oh.
Mom was saying, I was gonna actually help Susanna with hunting, maybe. Now, can't really do much unless I have a crossbow, but I'm good at tracking and spotting things.
I have a dagger if you need it.
Oh, I'm good. You actually see, not on a belt, but like on a a sheath strapped to her leg so she can grab it with one of her, feet. And she goes, "Oh, I got one."
Oh, okay, okay. Well, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah. And she's like, "Well, sorry." And she goes and like snatches a piece of your food and then like dashes off flying. So
Hopefully, so goes over and sits back down.
I mean, she's literally a harpy based off of a seagull. So yeah.
Yeah, no. It was funny.
At least she apologized.
Yeah. She'll finish up her food, then she'll go look for the halfling,
Farum Featherbottom.
Mr. Featherbottom.
So, okay. So what's the rest of you doing? Jaren's. Yeah. You see Jaren, and he's pretty much ready to go whenever you are.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yep,
All right, let's clean house.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. And just also full confession, this will also be a resource gathering session because, you do have requests for like potion ingredients for, from the alchemist for the acid resistance potions, which Ryoko, you do have one that you found in the troll cave.
Nice.
So, yeah, you meet up with Jaren, and he's ready to go. The rain has finally tapered off, although it's still overcast, but it's clearing up. There's a lot more beams of sunlight lancing through. There is something of a mist lingering the jungle as you start heading out. Storm.
Mhm.
With Jaren's guidance, if anyone wants to do a survival check with advantage, because he'll give advantage, or he'll give
Yay.
aid.
You can do it, I am.
This is
I've
a
done enough.
familiar path for him.
Kitty.
Bring us back to the island map. Kitty, attack.
No, don't attack.
Itty bitty strike.
Stop that. Stop encouraging my
Don't
cat to be an
encourage her.
asshole.
Murder.
Stop. Wow.
23.
Consume.
What did he say?
Shouted
Kill
murder.
Captain Murder.
Honestly, telling a cat to murder is just telling a cat not to murder. Little assholes like that.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, I do tell the youngest cat when he's like pouncing on the older cat. I'm like, yes, kill.
Oh.
The older cat's good about that. He's just like, he's such a big fluffy cat. The fur is almost kind of like armor.
He's just
But,
sitting there going, children.
But
Standing here, I realize.
kind of is. But he also does like wrestle back when he is in the mood. It's not like one-sided. So, but heading out into the jungle once again, humid as hell after the storm. But Ioane, with Jaren pointing out the paths, you basically you kind of just clear a path for everyone else and anything that might have like overgrown since the last time people had been down this path. So we're making pretty good time down towards the beach or south end of the island, following these paths that Jared has seemingly picked out many times over the years since he's been here. Anyone want to do a perception check for me?
Yeah.
Actually, everyone can do a well, actually, no. Yeah, do a perception check for like keeping a watch out. Then I'll need a separate round of perception checks for something else.
Alright.
I mean, I didn't come, and now all the stuff's happening over here.
I will perception.
Okay. Well, okay. No, this was for the. Okay, so we'll just use these rounds since everyone's rolling for potential characters. Ryoko, if you want to roll, since you are
Well, I thought we were
specifically
doing-
keeping an eye out for something.
No.
Yeah. Well, everyone started rolling, so I'll just do this.
I thought that
Okay.
was what we were
So
doing.
now,
Yeah.
well, I kind
Sorry.
of messed up in saying everyone roll. But I wanted to separate the keeping a lookout, but then everyone started rolling. So now, 2 people or 1 person with advantage roll for like keeping a lookout, like first observation.
Quiet Hearts, I would give you advantage if you would like to do that.
Sure. We could give it to Ryoko since she was specific out. Do I do that or?
Either way is fine. I mean, Ryoko got a pretty good roll, so did Amon.
Hmm?
But I mean, I think Cyril wants a separate roll for this, keeping a lookout.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
danger lookout.
It was keeping lookout
these
for
were-
danger and looking for stuff.
Okay, then I guess I'll roll.
Yeah, I messed up.
Alright. Dice are in fine form tonight.
Thanks, Roll20.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
It's because I did so well in that one shot. Then all my other games have to be garbage.
So you're going along, and let's see. Yeah, Amon and
Yes.
Quiet Hearts. First of all, you're the first 2 that see these. You actually see what Jairus had requested. I'm just going to say that before you left the village or the night before, he gave you like a list and like a description of like ingredients that you would need to look out for. And as you're going along, each find a cluster of Quiet Hearts. You see the shelf mushroom that's growing on a fallen tree that's kind of hidden in the shade of some other trees. Like this log has fallen over ages ago and it's just mostly covered in like fungus and moss and stuff. But you see this one shelf fungus that you were told to look out for, specifically the ones that had kind of like an ooze dripping from the underneath that was a kind of like a antifreeze green, like just bright green. And so that's one ingredient. And Amon, you actually find another ingredient that was a more difficult one that you were told to look out for, the acid resistance potions. You actually look up in the trees as you see what looks to be this creeping vine that has these bright purple flowers, and you know that the seed pods from this vine that you're told to look out for with these pale vines but bright purple flowers, you need the seed pods. So starting with those 2, if anyone wants to do a survival check. to harvest.
Sure, I'll do a survival check.
Okay. Yeah. With Corono's help, probably flying you up there, or you can just climb up there. It's not that difficult of a climb, really. You get up there, and using your dagger, or even probably your own claws, you do find a few seed pods that you were told to look for, and they aren't fully matured, to they're not ripe yet, I guess, would be the term. So you pluck a couple of those and bag them up, and you got that. And we'll just say when you were Whitehurst, did you want to roll for harvesting that, or did you want Amon to let that just use that roll?
I'll just go with Amon's.
Yes. Yeah, and Amon, using your dagger, this one you just you scrape off the ooze that's dripping off of it, and then carve off the shell fungus and wrap it up using that mixture. You actually have that mixture the lizard folk taught you to make to preserve stuff. So together to preserve these ingredients, and so that's two of 3 ingredients you needed for the potions. Ryoko.
Yes.
As this was going on, these 2 locations weren't too far from each other as they're harvesting. You kind of looking around, wandering off, not like fully off, but just kind of looking around, and you get this smell of it's just be blunt, decaying meat, like something like old, something died and has been cooking in the jungle humidity for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You step off a bit, and you see in kind of growing up this tree, or actually at the base of this tree, you see what looks to be like a jungle deer has been gripped and wrapped up in these vines, or these roots that you realize aren't from the tree that it's at the base of, but these roots, these vines that wrap up around this. You realize the tree is actually mostly dead itself, with this tangle of vines growing around it. As you recognize from these leaves that the Night Mother's. This is the Night Mother vine.
Oh. All right,
No,
who's
not
good
Night
at
Mother,
harvesting
Void
plant
Mother.
parts? Because I've got a survival skill of 1.
Actually, you have, because this is a specific skill, you have Poisoner's Kit. You can use that for this.
Oh, okay. I actually have good. I'm actually good at that. Hey, not bad.
Okay. So being very careful not to, pick your finger on any of these. They actually almost look like snake fangs. These thorns that are just kind of around the vines, and you actually see these vines. While they're not super quick, they do move towards you. Like, as you realize, they're like kind of move slowly towards sources of heat, maybe, or just living things. And just seeing these fang-like thorns, you remember the lizard folk warning you that it is the venom paralyzes, and giving the vines long enough time to pull something closer and slowly digest it. As you look around and realize that there's bones, various animals, kind of just half covered with leaf litter and mosses. So this Void Mother plant has actually been feeding very well, you realize. And you gather up enough of the toxin. It's not a venom, even though they call it a venom.
Mm-hmm.
You gather enough up of it for 2 doses.
Nice.
It will have to be, well, actually, you gather up, we'll just say like 2 packages of it that will have to be further refined, and you'll see, that was the harvesting. You'll have to refine it later on.
Nice.
But so yeah. And you don't wander off far enough to like be of a danger. And Jaren, is kind of watching. He seems a little impatient, but when it didn't take too long. Once again, you're on the trail. So while that's going on, Ryan, you were going to go talk to the excuse me, the bard. How did
Beard.
Ryan step away? Yep, BRB. So, okay, we'll just continue with the rest of you. Continuing down the trail, you start recognizing the trail that you've been on, and you realize that Jared actually took you around where you last saw the bear, avoiding it. But eventually you continue on and you...
Did you run into the fucking bear?
No. He purposely avoided where that was.
Okay. Oh my god. He's going back to bear!
I was actually going to switch over to you, but you had BRB'd. But, so, now I'll just say you get out to this portion of the beach. Further north, you realize you think you're further north on the beach than where you first arrived. But Jaren explains that he normally starts on one end of the coast and walks down, to the other end before looping back and going back the way he came. But as you step out onto the beach, you see, pale sands, the blue ocean, roiling up. The sky's clearing now, allowing you just in time, almost serendipitously, as you see Quiet Hearts looking out into the sea. You notice something splashing. That's not the waves rolling in, as you see what looks to be a cluster of swimmers desperately trying to reach the beach about 150 feet out into the surf. But we'll pick up from that after a bit with Rayan.
Yeah.
You're going to see the bard?
Yeah.
Okay. And honestly, he's not that hard to find, even being a halfling. Bards usually want to be found. And
Yeah.
he's actually in the cooking area, chatting loudly with some other people, as it looks like he got relegated to like carving these tuber-like or washing and peeling these tuber-like vegetables that you recognize from that are dug up from the jungle. You've probably eaten them.
Yeah.
Not desert, jungle yams.
Excuse me? What was his
Mhm.
first name again?
Ferrum.
Ferrum?
And he goes, yes. Tideborn girl. You were one of the ones who saved me from the cage.
Yeah. That's me. I was wondering. I found. Okay, so they pulled me up out of the ocean with no memory before that moment, and I don't know what a lot of things are. And she holds up the concertina, and I didn't know what this thing was, and I was told it was an instrument for music.
Oh, yeah, concertina.
And I was
And
wondering
I'll
if
let you know. Wouldn't
Yes.
be the first one I've heard of that having that story being pulled out of
Really?
the waves with no memory.
That's not uncommon.
It's not uncommon. I don't know.
Double
I deal
negatives
in
confuse
stories,
me.
so maybe I'm just statistical outlier hearing these things. Stories,
Um,
Georg.
Well, he is the spider's George of bards. Well, finding people with no memory.
Mhm. Well, he goes, not me personally. I haven't met them. It's just there's a lot of stories that start out that way. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
And I was
He
curious.
kind of
what
looks relieved that he has an excuse not to keep peeling yams.
I was wondering how this works. I was told you you make music.
Yes. And you actually see, not far from him, you actually do see propped up in what looks to be like maybe a homemade case, the shape of a fiddle.
Yeah.
When I say homemade,
Yeah.
I mean like sail tarp that he stitched together himself to cover his fiddle.
Aw. I heard you use something. You used a thing called a fiddle.
Mm-hmm. Yes, your horn friend is really impressive with it.
Oh yeah.
Rayan or Ryoko, or Rayan, you remember Ryoko had playing the fiddle because I think it was a nat 20 performance or just a really high. It was a 20 plus.
Yeah, I remember.
But he goes, well, you let me see the concertina. It's a bit, concertinas are a smaller form of an instrument called an accordion. Bigger, but these are easier to transport and different sounds.
He hands him the
He handed it
concertina.
over. He looks it over and fiddles with it, plays a few notes, and he goes, "Oh, this is. See, you got it out of the sea." And he kind of shakes it. He goes, "Honestly, this is very, very decently well kept, well maintained. Definitely a little bit of damage, but it's playable." And he like gives it a few squeezes and like plays a few keys, and a few people look over as he starts playing a few notes on it. And he goes, "Yeah, this will be suitable. Probably need to be tuned a bit, and I don't know how accordions or concertinas are tuned personally in real life, but he goes through it, and after a few minutes, he's like, there you go. Should be
Thank you.
as well as I can do it without, expert tools and stuff, but,
Could
kind of on a jungle island, so you get what you get."
could you show me how to do music?
And he kind of like looks around, and he sees Griselda. She started watching a while ago. You realized, as she just kind of has this smile, and she nods. She's like, she kind of nods, and almost as if silently saying, "It's like, okay, you're excused. Go ahead." And he goes, "Yeah, sure." And he'll hop up, and he goes off to this. The two of you go find a more less
Secluded.
traffic heavy area,
Yeah.
so that he can give you a rundown, and just do a charisma check.
Okay. I'm haunted.
12.
I'm haunted.
I mean, it's
Haunted myself. Which is not 12 is not bad for like a check as opposed to like an ability check.
It's slightly above average.
Yeah.
And wait, why is a bird named Featherbottom and oh no, DZ?
DZ?
Yes.
I just saw it. I just now saw the chat. Why is oh no?
Because bards.
Oh yeah.
And if you got a feather bottom, that means you got a soft ass.
Exactly.
God damn it.
Thank you for spelling it out. I wasn't brave enough.
That's why I'm here.
So, so yeah, gives you the very basic lesson and teaches you some of the notes on like how to squeeze the instrument to force the air through it, and pressing the different keys. I know it's a horrible innuendo, and he kind of laughs when he goes, "So, funny thing about these instruments, concertina is what they are called professionally, but you'll find that a lot of sailors love to call these ones in particular. These are called squeeze boxes,
Squeeze boxes?
which it's a box you squeeze to make music.
Oh.
It's also a funny double entendre. And if you don't know what those are, I would be happy to inform you, because honestly, the double entendre is an art form.
Oh no!
You left the impressionable youth alone with the bard. Well, not youth, but the impressionable newbie with the bard.
That is a
Okay.
youth. Age is relative.
I'd be happy to learn.
Oh my god.
So, because it's a little harder to come up on the fly, and I'm not a bard in real life, he'll give you a crash, like a crash course on just like jokes and stuff. So, yeah, you have gotten your first concertina lesson. Not quite enough to get a proficiency, but you can squeeze out
I
a
am
couple of
proficient
notes.
with the instrument. I'm just not proficient with performance.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
Or wait, am I?
you haven't done it enough, but there's almost like it's not quite second nature, but it feels like muscle memory of something you haven't done in years.
Oh. Okay. Could I roll a performance check now?
It's so like it's still like you're relearning. It's almost like a deja vu kind of feeling, really.
Did I roll a performance? Not towards learning more, but just to see how she does.
Sure. Yeah, because it is basically just a straight charisma, so you're not proficient yet.
Oh no, Ryan.
So it's you don't improv anything, but he actually pulls out his fiddle, and he plucks out a chord. I don't know. He plucks out like a notes and sequence, and you're actually able to follow along with it. Using your own instrument. It's not like a full. You haven't reached like full song yet, but you're able to follow along at least. You're getting the hang of it.
She is fucking vibrating right at the end.
Hello, cat. Why do you do this?
She's like visibly excited, and visibly like ecstatic, honestly.
Yeah, and Mr. Ferrum Featherbottom seems very happy to have a musical apprentice or student. Not exactly apprentice level yet, but a student nonetheless.
Yeah. Would you be okay showing me more when there's time?
Of course. I mean,
Thank you.
depending
Thank you
on
so
how
much.
long. Yeah. He goes, honestly, I would have been teaching some, other people how to play music, but instruments aren't really some of the things that wash up. And, he kind of taps his. Mine only really survived since, magic.
Oh. I wonder if that's why this one survived.
And he kind of looks at it and he goes, I don't know if it's magic, but it's. Yeah, it needs a little bit of maintenance work, but it was a well cared for, well loved, instrument. It has. Yeah, I can tell that your pieces have been repaired over time. Was maintained over time.
I wonder who was doing it.
I can't wait to show them.
You kind of,
I can't wait to show the others when they get back.
and he grins and he goes, that's always one of the best parts is showing off what you learned, new song or something. But
I'm.
he seems
This
very
is-
proud.
This is great. Thank you so much. And she just grabs him in a hug.
Oh, and he's a tiny little halfling bat, and he's just like, oh, okay. He can't quite
Yeah.
like pat you on the back, but he pats you on the shoulder.
Thank you.
So,
And she
yeah,
like gets up and like,
you've got.
oh, you first.
No, I was just gonna say. So yeah, you've gotten your first lesson.
Yeah. Now, now she's going to go look for the others.
Well, this would have taken some time, so we're gonna rewind time a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you'll see a mushroom cloud or something, depending on what happens. But
Ah,
and you never know when you turn back time. There's always the risk of just something happening in the background.
yeah.
But so yeah, you get out to the beach and Quiet Hearts. You see like 150 feet or so, 200 feet out in the surf, a trio of people struggling to get to the. They're like being tossed by the waves. It seems like they're struggling to get to the beach.
All right. Well, they're doing like a quick look around on their heads, snaps that direction. They point out, Corona, there are some people struggling to surf. It's far off the island.
Yeah, she's gonna take off immediately. Let me see. Is there anything I can do to? Yeah, I have. This is gonna sound stupid, but is there any? Does anybody have any rope or anything
Yeah,
before I leave?
I got rope.
So I can take a length of rope and throw it down to them,
But
and then tow
ninjas
them
always
back.
have rope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Instead
that
of trying
would
to
probably work.
pluck them one by one.
Yeah. So just do a general strength check, unless you have athletics.
I do have athletics.
Okay, yeah. So roll that. Okay, yeah. You fly over with this rope and you toss it down, tell them to grab on, and you see a trio of people, and as you kind of flutter over them, hold on, where is it? You see a tiefling man, a hobgoblin woman, and a human man as they all clutch onto the rope, shouting out their things and obviously sounding exhausted as you haul them into shore.
Good. I mean, if I tried to get them one by one, some of them might have drowned. That would have sucked.
Yeah. When you got there, you saw the. They were all fairly competent swimmers, but it looks like the human was doing the best out of the three. Not as exhausted as the other two, but you start pulling them up towards the shore, and they all three crawl onto the shore, gasping for breath, and they just kind of collapse on their backs, just saving, very similar to how some of you showed up on the beach, or some of the crew showed up, just thankful to be on land again. As Jaren walks up and goes, "Oh, you all right? Any of you need?" He's like, "You all need water?" As he reaches over, and you remember he had actually carried and filled up some canteens. And actually, remember when he showed up, he offered water to everyone as he goes up and starts handing out a canteen for them to share, or some water for them. As
And non-salt water.
they've what?
Non-salt water.
Yeah, definitely fresh water. As they very thankful, and you got to look at them. Halfling woman, middle-aged. Hair is like buzzed short, or it's cropped rather short. Tattoos, seems like just the kind of standard sailor's tattoos. Decent outfit. You like a sailor's outfit, but a little more well put together than a standard sailor. Which the tiefling man, he has kind of like a dark gray skin, curling horns, and large tattoos of like red fish swimming across his, up and down his arms. But he just is like dressed simple sailor's outfit. But the uh, human man, like mid-20s, you would guess. Uh, rough, looks like he's been a rough, but he's also wearing what looks to be like leather armor or like a leather breastplate that and he has like an empty sheath at his hip, but looks like he had a sword at one point, and you kind of get a bodyguard vibe from this guy as they're just kind of recovering.
Does anybody need healing?
No, I'm good.
TJ.
The hobgoblin woman, she looks up, she goes, I should be okay. And she looks over, and the tiefling man goes, I mean, I think I cracked a rib when I got tossed overboard, but, and he kind of like lifts up his kind of ragged shirt, and you just see normally gray skin just going down the side of his torso. It's just turning into a dark purple bruise.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And the human goes, and he's like the human's and he goes, I'm good.
yeah, that rib shit shouldn't be left alone. So she's gonna ask permission before she does it, but she's going to cast Cure Wounds on him.
Yeah, he's like, as when you make the motions, he's like, oh please, this hurts so bad. I didn't think I was going to make it much longer. Another 7.
Yeah, 7.
So it's enough to. He goes, the bruise is still there. It does slightly fade, but it's still going to be there. But he's just like, oh, that feels much better. Okay. And he's like, they start looking around, and you see on the beach there's like some debris, like probably washed up, and nothing big. Although actually you do see what looks to be like partially submerged, maybe been here, from a previous wreck long ago, like a partially submerged lifeboat, or at least a portion of one, like a dinghy, I guess is the proper term.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, how intact is that?
You can tell it's just a chunk of it. It's just like you just see a piece of it sticking out of the sand. But Jared's like, well, I don't. Some people take this bad, but you're kind of lucky you washed up here. We got a village not far from here. I can take you to rest up and recover. I'm talking to myself a lot here with these NPCs, but they nod.
Yeah,
And they go, oh, that would be helpful. And the hobgoblin woman, she looks out to the seas again, kind of with a worried frown, and she goes, I hope we weren't the only ones to make it.
Sorry, you didn't have a rain on board.
Jaren looks to the group. He goes, I mean, I can take them back to the village, tracking back the way we came. If you want to keep going down the village, see if any more are washed up. Or keep going down the beach, see if any more are washed up.
We can do that just in case.
Yes. Best to check everything before other things start to investigate.
Yeah, but yeah, he's looking at how ragged these three are, and it's just like better if we just rest up here for a bit so they can catch their breath, and then I'll lead them back to the village, get them some food, and let them dry out.
Well, which way should we check first then?
He points, because you're at this little divot on the beach, and he goes pointing along southwest. He goes, I mean, normally I just hit the beach, here, and then keep walking along it, see if anything's washed up, until I hit until I start seeing the old lighthouse, and then I turn around and head back.
All right. Sounds like a plan to me.
Yo.
He goes, and he starts talking to the castaways, and learn that they are the tiefling man is Dorohin. He was a sailor, working under the hobgoblin Tema, who was you. She says that she was the first mate of a ship called the Singing Wave. They were a cargo ship, uh, leaving Ultek. No, they were heading towards Ultek.
Okay.
And the human. Sorry, there was felt something crawling on my leg. Fucking mosquitoes startled me. The it was like it did that thing where it didn't land on me. It landed on my leg hairs, so it was just like felt something tickling. It was like, what is that? Sorry.
It's alright. I know the feeling.
But the human, he says he's Falaro, and that he says that he was protect. He says he's a bodyguard and that he was protecting a passenger. He said there was a Brine dwarf merchant from the archipelago where they set out from. And actually, that sounds kind of familiar to everyone because that's actually the same route that the Driftwood Dolphin was taking. You're leaving the main archipelago of the Brine dwarves, heading towards Ultek. But he kind of grimaces and goes, I doubt I'll be able to complete my contract unless he washes up as well. But
If we can find him, we will return him to you.
Yeah.
please. And so as you're all kind of sitting there, you're looking out at the beach, and there's like a few chunks of things that were washed ashore. Like there's a smashed barrel, like a crate that, like, just a quarter of a crate that somehow floated on the waves. Just random junk. But as you're going, Corona and Quiet Hearts, you have the highest passive perceptions, I think. As you kind of glance out to the sea, to the waves again, as something seems to break waves, like the waves, like as if something was rising up underneath the waves. Moments before you see what looks to be like just a long coiled tendril of kelp slap out, dig into the sand, and then another, and then as something starts heaving itself out of the water, and Jaren looks over in alarm, hearing the slapping motion or noises, as you just see this flotsam of just stuff, it just looks like a mass of what would be washed up on a shore after a storm, just start pulling itself out of the water. And I need you all to place yourselves on this map real quick.
No.
It's
Hold on, where the Where did I put it?
You'd be somewhere
See-
around here, right?
This thing is bigger than that. Yeah. You see this just whole mound start pulling itself out of the water and like in the direction of this group. And I'm just going to I don't have tokens for the NPCs except for Jaren. I'm going to put him like back here. Put the other NPCs. Yeah, I'll just use Bridar's token to show like where the other NPCs are.
Right.
I think we just need Ryoko on the map. Yep, there she is. So, as this thing starts slapping up the beach towards your group, initiative, as this thing seems to be going with menacing intent.
Menacing intent.
I just wanted to learn music.
Yeah.
You did.
Currently, Rand's just having a good time. It's like, oh, so that's the A key. This is the C key. Cool.
You
And
guys are fucking fighting without me.
I'm sorry. It wasn't planned. Oh, this thing rolled a nat 20.
Oh my
It's
god.
initiative, but it's initiative 19.
Nat 20 minus my dex.
Actually, wait, it would be like closer to down here. So it's starting to pull itself up towards.
Don't stab her.
Does anyone recognize it?
Is it from like Johnny Quest or Scooby Doo?
It is you're close. It is a Hanna-Barbera.
I gotta get
Mhm.
closer and look.
As a mop, sir.
It's the seaweed monster from the Godzilla series.
Oh my
Cartoon.
god. Amazing.
But, much tinier.
Boy, I sure hope so.
Nah, give me the big fucker.
Well, I mean, he was as big as, the Godzilla that was 30 stories tall.
This is fine.
Give me the big fucker.
Mm-hmm. So, I believe that's... Oh, Ryoko, initiative, please.
Oh yeah.
I'm used to fighting big shit. Let me at it.
16. Okay. So, Corrado, you're first to go as you just see this thing. And it's like, even like, just like plant, like seaweed and stuff. You also see what looks to be like crabs and small fish and other like clams and stuff that are just caught up in this mass.
Okay.
Maybe even like an octopus is stuck in there, you think, for a moment.
Oh my god. It really is Ryan.
Lobster.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna use my turn to make all of my hitty friends better at hitty, perhaps. Should we roll 20? Please roll my thing that I'm trying to do. There you go. Have some bless.
Hey.
You 3.
Tag us.
Nice.
And
Movement or bonus for you.
let me see here. That is all I can do. I'm just gonna move a little bit over here. Just in case it has something it can do in a line, I'm not going to stand in a line.
Totally fair.
But that is my turn because I can't hit it with anything here from back here that would also not hit you guys. So
as this thing heaves it up itself up, let's see how far is everybody. Just do the radius. It's a good way to see. Oh, nice. You're all within range.
No,
For
great.
Corona. So it is just gonna slide a little bit further. And oh wait, how big is this thing? It might be even bigger. Nope, it's large. So you just see this thing, mass of sea life and flotsam, just kind of quiver for a moment, almost like it's a strange ooze holding it all together. Before first one, then two, then three, and then four tendrils lash out, one at each of you.
Oh.
That would be Amon. We're just going to go from right to left. Amon, does 18 hit?
Yes, 18 hits.
Would it hit with your Wakizashi?
I need to reread what the Wakizashi does.
You can use your reaction to add your proficiency to your AC.
That is true.
Ah.
Let me check. 16. That does not hit with my proficiency.
Okay. But it is not within 5 feet, so you can't make a retaliatory strike, but you slice that out of the air as it tries to lash onto you. So next it is Ioane. 11 misses. Hurts. That definitely messes with your brand new armor. And Corona. Jeez. So this thing just flails uselessly, setting out these tendrils of just wet seaweed and like quiet hearts just kind of splatting against your armor, like an eel gets left behind as it reels in these tendrils.
Ooh. We will grab and pocket the eel.
Yeah, it's not alive, but yeah, goodies for later.
Okay. It just depends on how long it's been dead.
So let's see. Yeah, this thing is not exactly very fast, but it has a good reach. So it's just gonna jiggle up a little bit closer.
Oh god, it's
And
jiggling.
so it is Ioane.
Remind me, you can't move through the space of an enemy, right?
Negatory.
Not normally, no. If it's big enough, usually, or you might be able to, or if you're a halfling
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually
or
you
a
can't.
goblin.
Yeah, halflings can do it, and I think like certain size category differences you can.
Halflings can do it to virtually anyone.
Mm.
Nonetheless, I think I have enough movement to do this anyway.
And you're definitely tall enough to just step over him on.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely got enough
You walk
movement
through
to
allies.
set this up. All right, cool.
Oh, is that your dash also?
That was not a dash.
Okay.
That was just normal
You got
movement.
barbarian speed.
Yes, I do. And
Do
I'm
you
going to
want me to
go
make it
reckless. Not yet.
Well, that definitely hits. And both hit. Poke, poke. Let's see. So that's 25 damage. Nice.
don't forget your D4.
The D4 is not. Is that 2 damage? I think it's like to hit. And
No,
ability
it's
damage.
Just in case you,
It's to hit.
yeah.
just in case you do not hit, don't forget you have the
Okay.
D4.
Yes. That was a
So-
reckless attack, so I'll mark that. Indicate that. That is my turn,
Okay.
though.
Alright, Amon.
Yes. Excellent. I need to see how close
The
this
seaweed
guy is.
special just attacked you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Gross.
Seaweed's always tasty. And then I'm gonna stab it.
At advantage for flanking. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
So I had the Spirit Wind Wakizashi like fly out to defend myself. So I think we're gonna do the longsword two-handed because I haven't used that buddy in a hot minute.
Are you using the new Wave Slicer longsword?
I didn't get stats for it, but Sure.
It's straight up just a longsword. In stats, versatile, 1d8 or 1d10, but it is made out of marasite, so whenever you fight underwater, you don't make attacks with disadvantage.
sure, I'm attacking with that one. Why not?
That hits.
Okay, and then I'm gonna roll the attack for the other one before I roll damage.
Unfortunately, even with well, I will say, no matter what you roll on bless, that will make it hit because 15 is its AC, so both hit.
Okay.
Nice.
Because you got blessed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, 22 damage.
I'm
You
just
just
skittering.
slice off these portions of it, like carving it off. And now that you're closer, and after seeing the dead eel slap against Wyatt Hearts, you realize this thing isn't made up of living materials. This is all dead, like fish and like dead seaweed and stuff.
Tasty. But that is my turn.
Okay. Yoko.
Damn, already.
You see the people who washed up in Jared, the non-combatants, they're just like backing up, like going closer to the jungle, but like not going too far. They don't want to get too close. They look too
Yeah.
tired.
Don't run off. The ants will get you.
Yeah, those aren't birds. That's a fucking ant.
Looks at
Alright.
Ankegs.
Yeah, now I wonder. Maybe the Ankegs do whistle.
Well, they've got those spiracles, don't they?
Yeah. And well, they are based off of cockroaches, and there are hissing cockroaches. So sure, why not?
Fantasy.
A lot
You
of
can do whatever
insect
you want with
based.
fantasy.
Alright, I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash. Get him his shit. And gonna start doing some weed whacking.
That hits.
Nice. Yeah, I got flanking, right? Or I got like an ally attacking with me, right?
Yes.
You get all your bonuses with this.
Kill.
Gumdrops.
Heal.
Well, not bad. 7-11, so 18.
See. Good
Nice,
chunk.
good slashy shashy.
Yeah, this thing is being just shredded. And see, anything else for you?
Nope, that's it.
Hey, Quiet Hearts.
All right. Just go to move up to not a and gonna smack it. Maybe. Perhaps. Do I have advantage?
Like having that scene in JoJo where everyone just stomps on that one guy.
Do I have flanking with Iwane or?
You know what? I'll say yes, since Amon had flanking technically.
Okay, I just wasn't sure considering the angle.
It's a
also got
large
Brett.
creature, so
Oh.
19. That hits.
Krakama. And
Oof.
I'm going to smite it.
Oof. Let's see, so that's
Yeah.
18 for that.
Is it considered undead?
No.
Alright, just checking.
It's formed up of dead things, but you think you don't get an undead stink to this.
Oh, that was max damage.
Oh my god.
Fuck this thing, apparently.
In the name of my non-present girlfriend, I smite you.
The name of my SO, fuck off.
Jesus.
I wish I was here very much because I feel like, you know, a thing shambling out of the
Yep, that
water
hits.
made
I
of
should-
things that are things who was often.
I should roll it just to see if I get a crit.
Hey,
Get a crit.
No, I don't.
look at it this way, Nora.
Yeah.
Rayan's had a shitty day for the last week. This time she gets, yeah, but you know, especially considering all the shit that's
Pretty
happened to her,
damn
it's like, shh. Rayan has a nice day. She learns how to play an instrument.
Yeah.
I
Just
just
run
feel
over.
like this. I feel like this thing is, this is very similar to how she was born.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're
So,
ruthlessly
anything
killing it.
else?
Cardhearts was going to try and communicate with it until it started trying to their friends.
Yeah, it's trying to eat people. I'm pretty good at chopping this thing apart.
It's
Yeah, just-
also, just
It-
showed up. It might not even know what the fuck it is yet.
True.
Tendrilled
It's also
first.
trying to eat people, so I'm gonna chop it up.
Corona.
Okay.
See, had a bonus action you wanted to do, Quiet Hearts.
Just smacky, smacky, boom, boom. Good.
She's gonna run up here. Since she has a pike, she can reach it from here. So she's gonna try to poke it. Nah.
Yeah, you didn't bless yourself, right?
No, I bless the other three that hit harder than I do.
Yeah, unfortunately that misses.
Side eyes, your thunder side eyes, your electric damage.
Yeah, I can't do that right now. They're all surrounding it. Even if I cast a shatter, I might hit one of them.
That's true.
Collateral damage, it's a team building experience.
I am strong, father.
I don't cast into my crowd of allies. That's bad practice.
I would like to enter the delicious chamber. It is an oven and you will die. I am strong, father. I have
With the
fire
food.
resistance.
That's where the food spells come from. God, small tangent. It's still one of the funniest things I saw in a D&D podcast or heard on a podcast where guest character who was someone with careful spell casting, where they could shape, like, not harm allies with AoE spells, and this barbarian who is always getting hit by the wizard's fireballs turns around after the sorcerer shaped a fireball around him to not hit. He goes, "You mean you could have avoided me this whole time?"
I'm sorry, I'm not
It just became
educational.
an expectation thing. Like the dwarf specifically sought out fire resistant ring just because he's just like, the fucking wizard's gonna fireball me no matter what. I need to get protection. But
That's great.
so
Pretty funny.
Corona, anything else for you? Bonus or anything?
Let me see
Aye.
here. Spiritual weapon. Nope, spiritual weapon isn't a concentration spell, so yep, I'm gonna pop that son of a bitch up.
Yeah.
Right
what's up?
here.
Okay, so we'll just say it's there because I don't think
Yep.
this thing's gonna be moving
Yeah.
from this spot.
Drawing it up is kind of a pain in the ass, but yeah, spiritual weapon. Where are you on my list? Here. Yeah. What? Don't know. That's just
Yeah, that missed it.
it's fucking
11.
11. This better not be the new 12.
So the title mound at the four closest things around it, it just kind of seems to recoil in on itself, almost as if like compensating for when it's been sliced off. As all of a sudden it bursts out with another spray of tendrils. So that was. I need to say this out loud, but this was going to go for Amon because you were the first one.
You don't want to hit me, boss? With my
Well, no,
reckless?
I mean, you have reckless. So that's why I should have said this beforehand, so it doesn't seem like I'm picking you just because of that crit.
Hit me, boss.
All right.
I am strong.
So you're grappled for the moment.
Yay.
You have disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. Wait, damn it, Roper. So all right, so you can see where I stole some of the things for this from.
Yeah. Let's see.
So
Yeah,
then it is
That's
Amon.
entirely normal. I do that all the time.
Total.
Uh,
Does 16 hit him on?
16 does not hit.
Nice. And then next would be Ryoko down the list.
Oh! Hey, Ryoko, does a 26 hit you, Ryoko?
Yeah, I bet that hits Ryoko.
And then Quiet Hurts. Actually, no. Corrado.
No,
Damn it,
doesn't
that
hit.
So, the only... So, Yuane and Ryoko. Which one doesn't want to do this too?
Was that an
Ryoko's the
11
more
total
easily
damage?
digestible.
Probably.
Oh no.
No, Yuane, you got 11, yeah, since you're not raging.
Cool.
So, oh, it did max damage on the engulf. Oh
Okay.
wait,
Oh
no,
my
that's
God.
oh wait, that's the next
20.
turn. Start of the mount's turn. So okay, so you won't take that until the next. No, I'll re-roll the next time. I had it
No,
set
he
up
wants
so
to
it
be
rolled automatically.
He wants to be fucked up, Zero.
No, that was against. No, that's against Ryoko.
Oh, never mind that.
Yeah, don't hurt the squishy rogues.
Yeah, don't hurt the Twisty Rogue. We
So
need her.
Ryoko, you just see Ryoko just get, grabbed with this tendril of seaweed and sea life, and then just yoink, pulled right into the mass of this thing. So
Okay.
Ryoko, you are blind, restrained, and unable to breathe. It's just the worst. It's just like you got tossed into the trash bin at a fish market kind of smell, and just. Aww.
Okay. Cool. How much damage did I get?
Next
10 from the bludgeoning.
Okay. All right.
Tendril.
All right.
It being engulfed didn't take damage, but it like pulling you in, and squeezing. So you are
cool.
grappled.
Okay.
Yes, I am, and this is a perfectly thematic time to rage.
Explode out of
Okay.
it.
Mario sound effect.
I gotta zoom in so I can click and drag.
It's just, oh, you're grappling me?
It's like, oh, it's like, you attack the Ryoko?
So,
Jail
I should have
for
had
seaweed.
it engulf Yoane, so if you had enlarged, you would have just burst out of it.
Jail for sea.
So you are enlarged and enraged.
Yes, which means let's
You would negate the disadvantage for the strength stuff, so it would just be straight rolls.
yeah. There wouldn't be a means to immediately free Ryoko, would there?
Was that?
Would there be a means of freeing Ryoko?
Probably pulling this thing apart. It's not looking the greatest.
Well,
You might be able to reach in and grab her. It's not like it has like a maw or like a gullet. It's just like thing just.
It's just a lot of
wasn't
seaweed.
made out of things, this would almost look like an ooze.
Well, killing it might help.
So. Okay. Okay. Now, Ryoko, I'm going to need you to do dexterity saving throws.
How many?
2, as this giant harpoon goes spearing through this thing.
Did not think this through. I did not think this through.
Okay. Yeah, you're like flailing enough that you're able to like move out of the way of these stabbings. Yeah, how do you want to do this? Because that's definitely enough to finish this thing off. Even after remembering that this thing has resistances to certain damage types, I like reboosted its HP. But yeah, you shredded through this thing.
Yeah, I totally forgot the thing. Is like, I didn't think this run through, but yeah. Fucking pierce down and use my hands to pry the thing open.
Yeah, and it just kind of falls to pieces as you just seem to break whatever force was holding this thing together. As it just, you know that scene in the Constantine movie where the demon made out of bugs and crabs and stuff just kind of loses all its shape and just collapses into a mass of insects and stuff. It's kind of like that. And then
hey, Oogie
Ryoko's
Boogie
in the middle of it. Yeah, kind of like Oogie Boogie, but it's just like seaweed and dead sea life, and you just see Ryoko there, ragged and wet.
She's trying her best not to look as traumatized as she is by this.
Oh.
Gotta carefully move next to her and just, Ryoko, would you like some healing or damp cloth?
Brain bleach, please.
She nods very slowly and subtly. She does not verbally respond.
Take out a cloth from like the bag, get it lightly wet from seawater, and begin just like cleaning off the muck and. I could heal you as well, but it might. It will hurt.
He just kind of shrugs.
Looking like the wettest, most miserable cat.
They start with Ryoko's face just to get the face somewhat clear.
Yeah, she's an urban girl. She's not really used to being bored. Out of all the deaths she foresaw as a possible one she might face, getting eaten alive is not one of them, and she has now discovered a very new and potent fear.
Shit.
Yuade would like to reach down and on the shoulder and very sympathetically, it's not so bad after the 5th time.
And I think, in fact, the fact that she has often considered the many ways she could die in an untimely manner, the fact that this is never one that registered, actually makes it more terrifying than it would be for a normal person.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Just gonna get back to the village and Ray's just playing her concertina or like practicing. It's just like, hey, how you guys doing? And Ryoko's just like, don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's Yuade's attempt to comfort you. Is like, it's not so bad after the 5th time.
And you hear off to the side, you hear Jared go, is it dead?
Not sure it was really alive, but yeah.
It is as dead as a pile of decomposing matter can be.
TT, you took 10 damage, correct?
Yes.
Right. Oh, Quiet Hearts is going to wince. She's like, okay, brace yourself. And they're going to heal you 10 damage, though it feels like your skin is being pulled and pushed and then, like, literally knit back together with, like, a hot poker.
I mean,
It's not fun.
here's the thing. She's probably sewed herself up together with, like, needles not meant for sewing flesh
Oh,
that
so
have
this
been
is
heated
just
to
like,
cauterize. So that's normal for her.
oh, so just like, oh, I remember being 15 again.
Yeah.
Gotta leave a very bad scar. I'm sorry.
She shrugs. I mean, it's not like there's not others.
I'm just gonna keep trying to clean it off then.
You come back, and the first. Oh, damn it! I can't.
But yeah, she's nonverbal for the rest of this trip.
It's fair.
And she's just going in her head all the time she's almost died in the wilderness on this fucking island.
It was kind of a coin flip on who we would try to engulf. But honestly, it was because Ryoko was the smaller, easier to digest one that it didn't
Yeah.
go after Yuane.
It makes perfect sense. And also it's fucking funny that like she's been like drained of life by bugs, targeted by giant spiders.
Once we hit a city again, we may not be able to get her back.
She's gonna hole up in a tavern. It's like, this is my world now. It ends with these walls.
I'm a city girl. I will never go camping again.
Whatever they said about wilderness being majestic was wrong.
This shit sucks.
God.
Ryoko's
That
gonna
shit
go
happens in
home,
Red.
and she's gonna set up in a bathhouse for like a month and just not leave.
Well, I mean, she doesn't want to go home, and she's gonna find a civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
She's gonna live it.
You're just gonna sit in the fucking bath, like a single bathhouse bath, for like a full month.
It's like, ma'am, you know how expensive this is? Shush. I need this.
I need this. I earned it.
She drops the jewels
gonna-
she acquired in the.
Just floating so long in the tub, she's gotta leach out so she comes out bright pink instead of red.
The thing that makes her leave is like, oh, I don't hope you mind your new neighbor, and it's a fucking river spirit, sludge-looking motherfucker from Spirited Away. Immediate PTSD. It's back for revenge.
I'm done now. Just walks out.
That was the title mound. It's a stat block I've had for a while. Just waiting for the next time you all went back to a beach.
It was neat.
Yeah, it was a really good adaptation for an aquatic shambling mound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was the vibe I was going for. It was like that mixed with a roper in terms of stats.
Good shit.
So, after you clean off Ryoko of the seaweed,
Honestly, you might as well
Jaren
send her
and-
home with the other.
so Jared and the others, he goes, well, you know, maybe it's a good thing I did bring you along with, because we would have just been running away from that thing into the jungle if you weren't here.
It was our pleasure to make sure your safety was kept.
He grins and he goes, well, I'm going to take these back to the village. You all good to continue on?
We should be.
Okay.
Ryoko, would
Yeah.
you like to go back to the village?
It's okay if you do.
She looks around him and just nods her head and joins the other traumatized survivor.
Completely fair.
Yeah.
I want to go home. My shoes are wet.
All soggy.
This sucks.
You know how
I
bad
don't want to be shipwrecked anymore.
So
you know how bad
the
this
party
trip is?
splits up even more as Ryoko. You can walk back with the group, and between you and Jaren, helping these three be sneaky through the jungle. Yeah, you don't really have. Just for fun, roll a stealth with advantage because he's helping.
Alright.
Because you're kind of rolling the with advantage. This is kind of like you doing for their group. Yeah, between you and him, nothing really notices you pass by as you escort them back to the village. But the rest of you gonna continue along the beach.
We're gonna continue beach combing.
Okay. So as you continue along, we'll do another round of the perception checks. First one though, we need either two people or one person doing a danger, perception or a situational perception.
Okay, I could do a danger's perception.
Okay.
Somebody like to give me aid?
I can help.
Sure.
We're all like, yeah, we'll help. Jeez.
Let the eyes eye.
Dang.
Thank you.
All right. So, just everyone else, I would like. Yeah, I guess I could have suggested this last time. Depending on what you're proficient in, perceptions or survivals as you start beachcombing.
That would be perception for me.
Will that
They are
include me, or
the
is
same,
it?
so I will do survival.
I was gonna say, does that include me, or is am I right in the earlier perception?
Yeah, because you're keeping an eye out as you're keeping an eye out. Because you have many eyes.
Yes. Not tonight.
My
Yeah,
God.
you're more focused on keeping an eye out, especially after that tidal mound encounter.
Yeah.
You're probably close. You're probably more looking out to the ocean, trying to see if there's more people washing ashore. But you continue along. You want to. You're more used to fishing and hunt and sailing, so you're not really sure for at the moment. But
Yeah.
I mean, you're decent at survival, but just at the moment, it's just like you might be also probably paying more attention to look around. But
Ryoko almost got forward, and I almost stabbed her.
I'm not happy about that.
I didn't think everyone through. I'm a little distracted.
Listen, it's when your friend gets bored, you gotta act quickly. Doesn't matter if it's smart, you gotta act. Can't just let your friend get bored, you gotta do something.
Unless they wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless it's
yeah.
consensual war, in which case it's your duty to step out of the way.
But so you're continuing along, and Kuroto and Amon, as you're going down the beach, you do see some more stuff that's washed ashore. Some newer, some older. The older it's been here, the more submerged in the sand it is. You do see what looks like a few chunks of, like, lumbered wood, probably from a ship, float in. There's a broken crate, just typical flotsam after a storm you expect. But Kuroto and Amon, you start getting to these areas where there's some tide pools, where the beach is more less sandy and a little more rocky. But there you see some tide pools, and one of the items you were told to look for was a type of anemone, and you actually both, as you're like, Amon, you're hopping from pool to pool, like looking in, and there's you both find a pool where there's, an anemone that you can pull up, and if someone wants to roll survival to harvest them, you found the third ingredient you needed for the potions.
Can I give?
Do you want me to roll?
Can I give?
Hey, I
Amon-
got I have advantage
Yeah.
knife.
You
It's
want
a
to
sea creature, methinks.
has. Well, it's not an advantage. The hunter's gather is something. You double your proficiency.
Right. I should
I have nothing in
try that
survival.
trick.
Could I like give somebody like advantage to
Yeah.
like show them that it's there and have them get it for me because I will
Yes.
fuck it up.
Yeah, if you want to give an advantage, she can roll with the hunter's gatherer.
You're just pointing out the various ones to like, okay, you need to pull that one up, and you need to pull that one up. That one's not ripe, so pull that one up.
Yeah, and this one is this anemone that it's like a purplish color, except for the tendrils are this bright orange.
Yeah,
So
I'll give you one.
go ahead, roll.
Good.
Yeah, this isn't your first time harvesting anemones, probably. So you know how to pry them up off the rocks and, so they're not,
Non-canonically,
too
I
much
silently sing to myself, "Oh, the misery! Everyone wants to be my enemy."
So yeah, you wrap those up, and one of the side quests completed. You now have the ingredients needed for a batch of acid resist potions.
Side quest to help fulfill a side quest to help fulfill a side quest.
This is a JRPG.
Pyramid scheme.
So
Where's the
but
ziggurat
as
on
you're
this
continuing
island?
along, you're continuing along. You're pretty confident about the loot, not loot, but the ingredients you've collected so far. But there's other stuff you're told to look out for, just in case you see it. As you're continuing along, Amon, you're the one who almost kind of trips over it as you are walking along the beach, as you realize there's something submerged in the sand, just like a few inches down, as you feel like solid underfoot.
Oh, I dig it up. I am curious. Eyes are big, pupils dilated.
Yeah. So you start digging, and it is, Ioane probably comes over and helps you pull it up, but it is a small lockbox, wooden, that it is locked at the moment, but looks fairly fresh. You wonder if maybe it washed in with the singing wave. You wonder if this was maybe part of its cargo. But as you lift it up, you hear the clinking of what sounds like glass bottles from the inside.
Ooh, we gotta be
not like broken, but it's like you would guess it's like
it's
cushioned,
a thinking
but
of
it
glass
does like the
loosely
shifting.
around. Yes. Sorry.
More drinking for Mama.
Found a like a small chest.
More alcohol for Mama to block out the new traumas.
Maybe if we're lucky.
I think I still have that dead man's
else.
rum.
Oh yeah, you do. From the rowboat.
That must be
yeah, it's
vinegar.
locked. It's a pretty decent lock. You're not sure if without your ninja here, you're not sure if you can open it without smashing it.
Oh, we could always hold it back, I guess.
How about two idiots try?
Let's try.
Just someone gives the other aid.
Anyone have lockpicking tools, or you gonna try to pry it open?
I do not have lockpicking tools.
So, do we want to wait and drag this back, or try and fuck around and find out?
How big is the lockbox?
It's not big at all. I'm trying to think. It's like it's smaller than a milk carton. Not like the milk crates. Not a carton of milk, but like the milk crates that milk jugs come in at the store. It's like half the height of that, but about the same width and length.
Okay, in that case, it's like, oh, no reason I can't hold this back. I mean, even if we want the goodies inside, it seems like a perfectly good box. You could always use boxes.
True.
So, you've made it to. I'll say you've made it to the southernmost point, where it starts to go up, and you actually do see the remnants in the distance. What looks to be up on a bluff, looking over the sea. The remnants of another lighthouse, similar to the one where Jarrus has built his little lab, but much more intact than the one over at his place, but still toppled. Like stories left. It's more that you can see it because it's standing out against the sky from the way the cliff rises up. As you realize, besides this beach, a lot of the southern edge of the island is actually just a cliff drop off into the ocean.
Oh yeah, we meant to check out that tower sometime.
Yeah, if it wouldn't
You
split
actually
up.
did hear from Pizlop at they did inspect it, that there was no active machines, but it was they hadn't looted it, but they hadn't like gone too deep. They said the outpost to the north, this other red mark on the northern end, that was where they had seen an active Marasian construct, but it was too aggressive to deal with it until they were ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one on the other end of the island is the one we need for the turtle.
There might be things in this one though. They said they didn't go too far in, didn't they?
Something like that. So,
Yeah, they did like a
we are...
preliminary scouting. They didn't really like start digging.
Though we are 2 down, not sure we wanna risk it.
Not. I mean, even with the Anzu gone, I could fly over, but there's always those giant insects. I don't know if I want to be caught away from you all without backup, because they get nasty.
Mm-hmm.
But I could. She's making an offer. Do you want her to go look, or do you want her to not?
I'd rather get everybody here just to be safe.
Save it for another day.
I wouldn't think there's too much harm in it.
We can always come back, and you can...
Oh.
Yeah. As you look towards the north, you do see the spire of the hive. So it's not too far. Or, I mean, you get a good... Well, I'll let you continue. You at least know where it is now.
It shouldn't be too hard to get to. Should we go the other way and make sure there's nobody else?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you turn around and head back along the northeast along the beach again. You're tracing your path.
Yeah, there's nothing else down here, right?
Not that you see, like, nothing significant. It's like mainly just like sand dune beach or sandbars. You see with like just same thing as you've seen previously, just like pieces of driftwood that are just like partially buried in the sand. Nothing significant, but you get the feeling that when something does significant wash up, usually Jaren says that he'll go back to the village, report it in, and get helpers to, if it's something they do want. So you get the feeling this beach has been picked over decently well by him and the others from the village.
Okay.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
You do see like this little islet, I guess is the term, the side, but if you do like a little flyover Corona, it's a decently sized little island. There's nothing on there. All you see really is like wildlife, game and stuff.
Okay. Just a point of interest in case we need to know where to get immediate food, I suppose. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or you realize it looks fairly calm compared to the rest of the island. Might be if you're down that way, it might be a swim for the rest of the party, or actually you realize one thing of Rand's water walking would be enough to get everyone from the beach to that little island if you wanted the party to go there. But it looks just completely unremarkable, just like a little peaceful island, little islet.
Okay.
No hook horrors or anything. No trolls.
Perhaps somewhere to go and quietly contemplate life after being bored.
It's the Exile Island from Survivor. It's isolated but comfortable enough that you're not gonna die out there. But so yeah, start
That
heading back
reference
up.
means nothing to me.
God, my mom watched so much Survivor when I was growing up. I watched so much of it by osmosis. That's how I watched a lot of Friends too. I say with air quotes around watched.
Same. Grandma did that a lot. I don't know why the hell she likes Survivor, but she did.
Like actually, I saw my mom was rewatching it because she found her old DVD box sets.
Oh God.
Well, she just had it on for like noise in the background while she's doing work from home, but it's just like, okay, that's. I haven't seen the host guy is the character. Anyways, yeah, you go tracking back the way you came. You do see like a few bits more of driftwood washed up, maybe from the ship. You don't see any more mounds rising up to attack. You do eventually, as you're going along, don't even really need a perception check. See what looks to be like a small flock of seagulls, but like an actual flock. But God, that'd be horrific. You just walk up and see the flock of seagulls, the band just picking over this body of a sailor. It looks like that washed ashore.
Ooh.
But yeah, you approach and these seagulls go squawking off indignantly as you shoo them off, and you find the body of a sailor, Brine dwarf man.
Did I check his pulse just to be sure?
Yeah, when you flip him over, you look at his chest and you recognize, look to be a harpoon wound from a Marrow's harpoon.
Oof.
And it just seemed he floated it on the waves, but dressed simply, similar to Dorohin the Tiefling, just another, it looks like a sailor.
Well, this might be that one guy's patron.
He did say his was a merchant.
Rip,
He
but
said
I
it was a
differ.
merchant, not a sailor.
Mm.
So
Well,
But
that's right.
the only thing this guy really has is around his neck. He has like a pendant where it's a little holy symbol of the Reef Mother, one of the common gods of the Brine Dwarves. The little pearl inlaid carving.
Damn shame.
Do we know like the
It's not like
burial practices
an
of
actual
Brine
holy
dwarves?
symbol for clerics, but Brine dwarf burial practices. I actually think this got brought up previously. Their thing is they wish to be returned. Their common thing is uh, actually not dissimilar to what's happening here. There is the body is often, um, put it bluntly, dismembered. The meat given to the sea life, and the bones interred within the reefs of their hometowns, or the burial reefs. But otherwise, it's they are often just uh, given to the sea.
So, what this guy would like the most is to be pushed back into the ocean.
Or buried. There's it's not uncommon for either, but dealer's choice, I suppose. Some brine dwarves don't mind, going full burial at sea. Others really prefer buried in the reefs, but some, some are buried on land. It's just
Normally, I would be all for pushing him back into the water, but in the back of my mind, I know that whatever's down in the trench has may or may not have something that can raise the dead.
there is that to consider. Yes.
I know brine dwarves usually like to be interred in their reefs or given to the sea, but
Yeah, the reef around here is a bit fucked.
yeah, considering that, I think a burial would be good for this one.
Would a
Yeah.
tide pool work?
Would
Shrugs.
a tide pool work? I mean, I don't.
As the DM, that probably wouldn't be unheard of. Because that would allow the crabs and stuff to consume them.
Mm-hmm.
It is probably a very good compromise.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Honestly, thinking about it, that probably would be not unheard of for a burial practice on in this setting.
Considering there's tons of crabs and whatnot in tide pools, they'd probably strip that in a day or two.
Yeah, and like that's actually part of the thing is one of the reef mother. She is the goddess of both brine dwarves and Karkanos, and one of the things is she is called the reef mother because her considered true form is that of a massive crab that has an entire heavenly reef growing on her back. That's where like the spirits of the deceased are said to dwell.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find a tide pool. Put this poor little guy in there.
Yep. I will pick him up then.
That bitch in a tide pool.
Put that bitch in a tide pool. Bitches love tide pools.
Yeah.
It's true in this setting.
So yeah, you find a nice tide pool. It's not one of the ones you harvested. That's direction at the beach, but yeah, you find a nice, quiet tide pool. It will, have access to the full ocean when the high tide comes in. So,
Mm-hmm.
without consulting, an actual faithful of the Reef Mother, you get the vibes that this is fairly respectful. Did you want to keep the pendant or leave it with them?
Oh hell no! I'm not taking
That was-
anything from a dead body. That's cursed. Corona's like, no, that's his. That's for burial. So if anybody
Yeah.
else wants to take it, she won't stop them, but she will give them the bird eye.
Nope.
Yeah, I'll leave it with them.
Okay.
May
So,
provide
as
some
you-
small comfort.
Yeah, and it's resting there on the chest as you put them down and settle them in. And you there's probably they're the prayers for the dead and vipers worship are decidedly different, but you could probably say a few words of your own if you wish. But you're watching, you look down at this Brindorf, his beard and hair kind of drifting in the water, and there's you see the pearl pendant, which is resting peacefully, just slowly floats up to the surface like a bubble, and then just kind of floats there.
Mm.
I click. I like to do my what's it call it? Divine. Yeah, divine sense. Thank you. Divine sense to see if there's any significance to this
It does
action.
have. You get a soul, it's not like saying it's you get a divine sense from it, that like a minor celestial tinge.
Considering if it was aggressive, there'd be something very blatant or some quite.
Yeah, this does. You don't. You actually, with that divine sense, you get a sense of someone letting out a breath long held and in relaxation, a sigh of relief.
It's a fucking their eyes, do that weird little smile and glow a bit. And it goes, I can sense a bit of divinity to that. It's almost a sigh of relief, I think.
Well,
At the very
gentle
least.
waves and winds, my friend.
Anyone reach out to take it?
Nope. I'm leaving that there.
Yeah.
Okay. And after a moment, or a minute or so, it slowly sinks back down and settles almost right where it had lifted up, right on the chest of this brine dwarf.
I could only imagine after a solemn moment of burying somebody, we just turn around and the seagulls are in a crowd waiting for us to leave.
When you start going, you do see some of them giving you the stink eye. It's thanks. You put it on the water where we can't get it.
Well, I can get it. Now you can dive for it.
Yeah.
It's they could totally get it, but now the crabs are going to fight him for it.
Well, let's just go at lunch.
Mm-hmm. It's a big crab.
You have started a turf war between seagulls and crabs. Good job.
Surf and turf.
No, it's just one skirmish among an internal.
The 47th surf war.
Surf war. Yeah,
The
that war,
47th surf war.
that war would be going no matter what we did.
So, you enter this Brindorf in a tide pool and have a perhaps little brief connection, but you depart and don't really uncover anything else on the beach. You're still hauling the crate, but yeah, you can go back to where you return up on the beach to where you first emerged on the beach if you wanted to head back into the jungle and return.
That sounds good. It is.
We've done about a full sweep, methinks.
It is almost 11, and I'm pretty sure that TT would like to go to sleep.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Yeah. I was just gonna end with one little thing. So, Ryoko,
Yes.
when you and the new castaways return with Jaren to the village, Rand, how does Rand? How do you? Well, it's just the two of you at the village, so you basically see each other at the same time.
Yeah. She like comes forward excitedly, but I'm pretty sure she can see the look
all
on your
bubbly
face.
and chipper.
I mean,
Katie.
Ryoko is trying hard but failing to hide that she's fucked up.
The smile fades and she sees your face. Like, what happened? And then she like rushes forward and like starts checking you over. Are you okay? Are the others okay? What happened?
And Jaren, as he's kind of walking past, guiding the others towards the center area, he's like, "Oh, they're fine. It's just seaweed got a little uppity."
What?
The silence sucks. All she
The
manages
what?
all she manages to whisper out is, "The silence sucks."
Aww.
I think that's a good place to end right there. Like it's.
Rayan presses the issue and just Ryoko grabs her shoulders. I got bored.
I got bored, Morty.
Think that is bored, lady? I got bored.